Welcome to this presentation from Let's Play Live. We work hard so you can play.
Kia ora and welcome to the LPL Alpha Invitational Season Number 1 Grand Finals, coming at you live from the Sky Tower here in Auckland. I am, of course, Dallas Easy Fighter. Joining me, as per usual, my partner in crime, Thomas Blackout Richmond, and it is indeed the Grand Finals. Are you as hyped as I am, Tom?
Oh, most definitely. I am very keen for this. We finally have the two big dogs here after the 5 weeks of the round robin, so it should be very awesome to see how these two teams can perform.
Yes, indeed. So it is the grand final. Our top two teams duking it out tonight for that prize pool of $10,000. And indeed, last week we saw Tainted Minds battle their way against Corvidae, pick themselves up the 2-0 win and make their way to the grand final, because tonight it is going to be Tainted Minds taking on Greyhound Gaming. And I mean, it's been a journey so far, hasn't it? You know, 6 weeks, 5 weeks of round robin play. Tainted Minds have been, you know, very good. They've only dropped one game to Greyhound. So tonight on the cards, how are you feeling?
This is pretty much the two top dogs from the start of week one, really. Both of these teams have shown, I guess, they're a class ahead of basically everyone in the rest of the pack, and both these teams will be very confident, but also respecting their opponents coming into tonight. Well,
I mean, let's have a look at the journey so far for Tainted Minds. Some of the best plays for these guys here from last week, and it's just been it was good, I would say, in the sense that Corvidae did manage to put up a fight here. In a few of the matches on Mirage, you know, they got themselves 10 rounds, but Cache was just all Tainted Minds.
Yeah, no, they were really sharp last week. You noticed that all five of them were on point with their aim. Their teamwork locked on point as well. And I think Chutch actually had a really, really good game individually. So they'll be looking confident coming into tonight for sure.
So that was your standout from last week, Chutch?
Yeah, I'd have to say Chutch would be. I mean, it's sort of hard to pinpoint when all players played so well. But I feel like last week Chutch had a lot of individual highlights. And you could add maybe 4 or 5 clips that were pretty much highlight videos.
Well, there you heard it from the man, the legend himself. Chutch was just too much last week, but let's dive in and get an up close and personal with Tainted Minds and see what's going on with the boys.
Offnu picks up one, Zeus gets a second, and now as they push onto the side, Zeus with the triple! He's absolutely amazing here, leaves Blitz in a 1v2, picks around and Zeus with the 4! Zeus did not deserve that. Now Inns on the flank though, spots Iron. Will drop one, looking for another. Nikes going to get tagged up heavy. Inns going to be able to push out the window. Nikes needs to be careful here. The plant will actually come through. Clever play from Nikes. Nikes going to peek out. Inns! The double! Wow. He picks it up! Pulled one out. Instead he's gone for the CZ. Spotted up close, so Offnu will drop Prodigy. There's Yam peeking top bomb train, just looking for one of these players. Takes a little bit of damage. Annihilates Luke. Chutch and Yam, no!
And I mean, we see it there as well. Tainted Minds just have this way of closing out games in just spectacular fashion there. I mean, out of your ones there, what was personally your favorite?
I mean, I have to go with the 4K Deagle from Zeusy. I think that's probably everyone's favorite, but it's just so crisp. All the shots there, one bullet, and he just basically destroys them, really. He takes them down single-handedly with a pistol, so yeah, I'd have to say that one for sure.
Yeah, I think that's one that's been on the, you know, a hot topic with us here, you know, over the past few weeks. The other one as well, you know, Inns picking up Corvidae last week. I think they've got to be, Corvidae have to be pretty disappointed, obviously double peeking into him like that, but again, Inns has just been, you know, an absolutely clutch standout player for Tainted Minds. But now, let's dive in, let's get a first-hand experience and see how Tainted Minds are feeling coming into the final this evening.
So I think our season has gone to plan so far. We only lost one game to Greyhound, won our semi-final pretty easily, and yeah, on to the grand final. So I think we've performed to expectation.
A little bit of damage. Annihilates Luke. Chutch and Yam, no!
Yeah, it was a pretty good season. I think Greyhound got the better of us in one game. and hopefully we can get that back against them on land.
We saw him in this situation before. Ofnu will finish it.
We lost the game to Greyhound online while we were playing in another qualifier in Perth, which I think we wouldn't have lost if we were at home.
Yeah, it's a shame we dropped our map because we could have had a perfect season, but yeah, just looking forward to the finals now.
The only loss we had was against Greyhounds, which was during a rough time because we were playing lots of games in Perth. But other than that, the season was really good and we felt confident during the whole season.
Yeah, 4-man stack on B. That'll be one for Church. Looking.
I think Greyhound's strength is they've had roster changes, but they've been together for quite a long time, like their core.
The noise didn't need to be made. Dex was able to drop Andy, but
Greyhound are pretty good, but again, I don't think they would have gone undefeated if we were playing from home.
I'd like to see them making at least an attempt to push in, but Gratisfaction will drop.
I think our range of players very experienced, and we're all pretty good, and our teamwork's been going well since I've joined, and just the experience is probably the main factor.
Beating Greyhound right now would be actually pretty prestigious because the scene is very close right now. All the top teams are fighting for that #1 spot, and so beating them would probably mark us as #1.
So the keys to win tonight is just have to individually perform and as a team, I guess, because I think we all believe that we're better than them at the moment.
Winning tonight would mean just satisfaction, really, because it's like not many lands occur in Australia, and obviously this is a land, it's a grand final. You want to win these. It's like, you know, the quote-unquote most important, I guess, because it's on land.
Come a long way this LPL season, and hopefully get the win over here in New Zealand, come back next year or next season.
Well, there we have it. I'm going to take what Yam said there. You know, Yam looking to get that satisfaction over gratisfaction here this evening. The boys in green looking very confident, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you feel similar coming off the back of that?
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're confident coming into this one. Looks like they believe that if they do play their A game, that they should be able to win this game, which is good for them, I guess.
Exactly that. You know, I really like the confidence coming out from all of the boys, you know, saying not only do they need to perform individually, but as a team as well, and that's one of the most important things when it comes to CSGO, obviously, is playing as a single unit, I suppose.
Definitely.
But speaking of Yam the man, let's head over to Katya, who's standing by with Yam, just to get a few thoughts before we get into the match.
Thanks, Dallas. And to all the Russian people out there, привет всем, кто смотрит меня сейчас. I'm currently here with Yam from Tainted Minds. So previously in the tournament, you did face Greyhound, and they beat you 16-7. How do you think this rematch is going to go, and especially since it's a best-of-3?
We're under different circumstances when that game happened. I don't think this game is going to be anything like that. I think we're definitely still going to win. But yeah, hopefully we can just close it out in 2 maps.
Well, awesome. Also, you and your teammates have played in the studio before, and Greyhound hasn't. Do you think that's going to help you out a lot?
I guess it'll be a minor advantage, I suppose. Playing here last week, we're kind of familiar with the setup already. They're not, but it really shouldn't matter that much at the end of the day now.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time, and good luck for your match.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that, Katya. And, I mean, that right there is, I guess, the tale, you know. Tainted Minds dropping that match to Greyhound in the regular season. Now Tainted Minds obviously wanting to get themselves revenge. Do you think that that's going to be, I guess, a really contributing factor for Tainted Minds moving into this one?
In honesty, no. They play each other a lot as well. It's not just that online game which they've had. There's several tournaments in the Oceanic scene, and you pretty much play the top teams. So them being both top teams, they're pretty much going to play each other quite a lot. So in honesty, it comes down to how each team's feeling and preparing on the night as opposed to previous results, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Well, we will find out if Tainted Minds are on form very, very shortly. But enough about the boys in green there. Let's have a chat about Greyhound. You know, a week where we haven't seen them play before. For Greyhound tonight, what do you think the sort of, I guess, key moments are, you know, for them? They've had a really good season, obviously, being undefeated.
What I've liked from Greyhound so far this season is just how their teamwork's been as well. They've seen really on point with how they play bomb sites together, how they flash each other in and take control of the map together. Also, obviously, their individual skill has been very high this season. So if they're to keep that up tonight, I'm sure they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, the other thing to mention as well is that sadly we don't have Urcast here tonight. He was, having some travel issues, I suppose, but they do have Badge filling in for them. So, I mean, I know Greyhound, with my quick chat I had with them previously, they're feeling quite confident with Badge. How do you think Badge stacks up, again, with Urcast, obviously, and sort of fits into the Greyhound team?
Urcast is a big loss. He's, I'd say, like their team leader. He keeps the team like nice and tight. He also has been in the team since pretty much day one, so he knows all of their tactics. He knows how each of the players likes to play. So I feel like losing Urcast, especially for a LAN game where you really rely on your teammates a lot, I feel like it is a big loss. However, Badges, he's played in a lot of tournaments before. He's got a high individual skill, so if he can bring his A game and just maybe, help the boys along with some of the teamwork and stuff like that, not just his individual performances, I feel like they definitely can beat Tainted Minds here.
Well, backs against the wall here, but let's have a look at some of the top plays from the season from Greyhound Gaming, and boy, were there so many of these, huge plays, Gratisfaction just hitting shots like crazy through the wall. So we'll have a look at some of these highlights in just a moment there. One of the big things, I guess, is... well, let's have a look at the highlights now, just so we can see, obviously, how they did over the season.
Stacey and Urcast just going to hold a crossfire, preventing that push straight from the main and preventing the push from Checkers. Shots firing through. Dick Stacey drops SK. Flash is going up from Urcast, picks up one. Should be able to drop those. Will do, in fact. And Andy now, 1v3. Come on, Grant. Oh! This guy is huge! What's going on? Through the wall! Saw a tooth. Or... all of them. Maybe hurting.
Yeah, I think
So
a
will your
CC
brain?
will knock all your teeth out. Far out.
Dexter, he'll be looking to knock out some teeth here. He'll knock out Crudens. He'll be looking for a few more. He'll get Herbs. He'll tap away with the USP. He'll drop Dans. The team, though. Dick Stacey and Apoc, though, they'll pick up the first two kills, instantly giving that huge advantage to Greyhound. Urcast will drop Cruden. Expecting Ares pushing around close. Whoa! Waiting. Will be Luke. He's gonna fall. That'll do it. Moe, 1 versus 3. Spotted out, and Burn cleans him up.
Well, I mean, there we've got it there. I mean, a big thing for me, we've seen, obviously, some plays from Gratisfaction there. I love that one from Burn. What a classic, beautiful ending there. But a big player for me is Dexter. I think he's going to really have to show up tonight, for Greyhound, because I think he is going to be key to their success. Anyone on Greyhound sort of need to step up for you?
I feel like, as you said, Dexter's probably been, in my eyes, probably the most valuable player throughout this whole tournament in any of the teams. He holds most of the bomb sites with just him, and he does an awesome job at it. But as you mentioned before, Gratisfaction is a big key to this game. The sniper rifle is one of the most important guns to getting map control and getting wins in this game. And Gratisfaction is, without a doubt, a top 3 player with the sniper rifle in the region. So if he can be on his A game and hitting them shots, it's really going to open the round up for Greyhounds and give them the opportunity to push the bomb sites a lot easier.
Well, let's put some faces to the names here. Let's have a look at the players and see some of their thoughts about the season.
Season so far for LPL has actually been pretty smooth so far. Like, we haven't had any losses and most games have been pretty comfortable. And yeah, so far smooth sailing, no complaints, and we play perfectly.
TM was our main competition in it, and we know that we can beat them on any day, so undefeated season was expected, yeah.
Teams potentially could have, but I think we're in a pretty good form at the moment as a team, as a full roster anyway. We're here with a sub, but I think we can still take it in. Graham is a team. Pretty interesting. I mean, I think we have some of the most defined roles. Like, we have Sean, who's really versatile AWPer at slash rifle, really. You got Erky. It's like the rotational role. He does kind of everything in the team. Entry frags, lurks, clutches, all the things. Then we got Chris. He's probably our best player at the moment, I'd say. Probably most impactful player at the moment. And it's kind of me and Ollie in the entry fragging roles.
Our team's like basically a bunch of mates. Everyone gets along really well, so it just makes us play really well together. Like, never arguments or bickering, so I feel like that makes a really strong team. Yeah.
We have 2 pretty experienced IGLs on the team that can just really adapt under any situation and have that much experience that, like, they literally have a solution to every problem in the game. So, and it's a very quick solution as well, and they're very quick to say it and express it in a clear manner.
Yeah, coming to New Zealand for an event is really cool. It's my first time in New Zealand as well. I'm playing in Auckland. Pretty cool experience. So.
I'm from Gisborne originally, and playing on Sky TV is pretty cool, you know, playing live TV in New Zealand, it's a great feeling.
Like, I always wanted to come to New Zealand. It's, being from Australia, like, it's always something you want to do. We've come to Auckland, it's amazing, especially for video gaming. Like, free trip here, like, can't complain, and I can't wait to just play in New Zealand, especially from the Sky Tower. That thing looks insane. It's a big colossal thing, eh? Like, damn.
Playing in the Sky Tower is pretty amazing. Like, it's like a great spot to play CS in. Like, probably tell people about it for years to come. Yeah, be a memory for sure.
Well, I mean, it's beautiful to see the boys, you know, loving the fact that it's out of the Sky Tower. They look absolutely chuffed. But I guess the one big thing to take away from that was that they mentioned they're all friends with each other. Do you think that's really important, you know, moving into obviously playing in a competitive team? Like, if you're friends with each other, does that help, you think?
100%. In all honesty, if you're very happy and like you understand your teammates, it makes playing a lot easier. You make a mistake or something, you have a lot less pressure riding on you. You know they're friends at the end of the day, and you all have the same like common goal. So I feel like that is definitely one of the reasons why Greyhounds have succeeded so much, is that they're so relaxed and they see each other as mates, and at the end of the day it is just a game for them. So I'm sure it takes off a lot of pressure for them.
Well, we do have Kacha standing by with Gratisfaction to get a few words from him before we get into the match. Let's see what they have to say.
Thanks, Dallas. I'm currently here with Gratisfaction from Greyhound. So how do you see tonight playing out?
Well, we play TM quite a lot online, and in the league we beat them, so hopefully we take out the win tonight.
Also, a few of your teammates were in China last week, and now they're in New Zealand. Is the traveling affecting you much?
I think we've all like gotten used to the travel. Like, still get affected by jet lag when you go overseas to China and on international trips, but New Zealand's fine. Only 3 hours.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck for today.
Sweet, thanks.
Thank you very much for that, Katya. And I guess an interesting thing as well there, we heard, you know, some of the boys from Greyhound Gaming were overseas in China. So it's an interesting thing that these players, you know, they don't just play from home. They obviously travel around the world, you know, playing in these tournaments. Obviously, you know, Australia one day, China the next, over to New Zealand. So it's not just the bare basic sort of, you know, sit at home and play your games. Oh, look at that, Ofnu giving us a bit of a flex. So we see the boys getting ready here now. So without further ado, let's get right into the action. Let's throw it over to our casters. The man in pink, Mr. Nutters, and Wayfarer. Take it away, lads.
Thank you very much, Dallas. And yeah, the brothers in pink tonight looking very good, I do have to say. Very dapper. Definitely suits me. Definitely a grand final colour, I'd have to say. You've gone for the nice bright yellow as well, Chris.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. I'm ready for tonight. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's history in the making. Seeing these two teams in the final, it's just what I want to see. Well, we do have the two best teams that we expected to be here right from the start. We've got the two best rosters we could possibly ask for. Sadly, obviously, missing Urcast. But I do think going into it, this is going to be an absolute stunner. I'm going to ask you very early, before we actually see the picks and bans, what do you think is going to be the score? What am I? I really don't want to make a call. I think it could go either way. You know, these two teams, they're going to bring like a match that we really want to see. It's going to be competitive, nail biter, and I'm going to say Tainted Minds 2-1.
Oh, that's some fighting talk. I'm going to have to say, and I'm very sorry to say this, I'd like to see a straight Greyhound 2-0 because from what I've heard, nobody wants to actually see the third map. However, it does seem as though, you know, if it does happen to go to a 2-1, I'd like to take Greyhound here. I understand that they don't have Urcast, they don't have that, I suppose, top IGL, and an absolutely amazing player in that.
Yeah.
But
well,
I do think with Badge.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a good player. You know, I mean, I've been warming up this week. I was hoping I was going to get the call up, but you know, I mean, Badge is good enough, so he's going to fill that role really well, and you know, Greyhounds are going to bring it. And you know, you heard Gratisfaction, how the competitive nature between these two teams. He wants to win. You know, Yam was like, we're going to 2-0 them, and yeah, well,
Either way, the most
game
important
time.
part is actually going to be coming down to the picks and bans. We do see that we've actually gotten rid of both Mirage and Train. Those were the first two gone. Greyhound did not want to give that one up to Tainted Minds. We see Cobblestone come through, followed by Overpass. Now, Greyhound, one of the best Overpass teams for probably about the last year and a half in the Oceanic area. We then see, obviously, Cash and Inferno both disappear, and map number 3. Now, this is why I don't think anybody wants to see it. It's not fun to play. It's not fun to commentate, but it could be Nuke.
Nuke is a classic finals map from 1.6 CS. I really like it for Greyhounds. I think they're a real star team on it. They really want this map. This is a great map for them to get. They've got great results on it. I really do like Nuke because I'm old school, like from the 1.6 era.
Yeah.
It's traditional Swedish teams that always met
Swedish?
Yeah,
Where are we?
We're in New Zealand. But
We're going to get some IKEA in here as well now.
But yeah, you know, there's a lot of rich history, and you know, if it goes to the third map, I'm tipping Greyhounds to go there. I actually didn't see the maps before they came out, so that's really surprising.
Well, I do believe that Cobblestone, being the pick of Tainted Minds, we don't often see Greyhound on it. We don't actually see too many teams attempt to play it nowadays. It used to be a sort of a staple for Legacy. A lot of their rosters used to love it, but we don't see it as much anymore. Chiefs had a bit of time on that as well, but overall, you'd have to say that if Tainted can actually come out swinging here, this could actually be quite a low-scoring map for Greyhound.
Yeah, I'm excited about Cobblestone as well. It's a map that we haven't seen a lot of in this tournament, and it's gonna be awesome to see. You know how these teams play it, how they control B plat, where they go aggressive on middle and get the lurk, and here we go live into the match with Dick Stacey play aggressive on middle.
Yeah, getting straight into it. We do actually see that they've gone up with 3 sets of armor, Zusi and Offnu, with a bit of utility, but Grat getting very aggressive early. Drops Church. He's going to actually force this push towards the B site, but 4 players are going to actually be on the flank for the CTs. Dexter leaving it open with a 5-7, and wow, this is an interesting strat coming through already. Offnu will be able to plant the bomb. Nade will come through, won't do anything, and these players going to get a little bit of damage off. Dick Stacey tagged up rather heavy, down to 8 points of health. Shots flying through. Offnu doesn't hit that one. It is a 4 versus 5. There is the kit on Gratisfaction. Grat will go down though. Inns will pick up 1 Yam, but Dexter and Badger picking up 1 in return each. Down to that 2 versus 2. Offnu and Yam have to find something. Yam can find 1, but that gives away his position. Dexter, neither player looking too good, but Yam will come through with the 3K. Picks up the pistol round 4 Tainted. And what a way to start on your T side.
Oh, that's a massive round from Yam, and he's the impact player. He's the IGL for the squad, situated in the coop. You know, he's set up for the clutch. It was impressive.
Yeah, they are absolutely set up and ready to go. But we'll be seeing 2 AKs, 2 Galils, sorry, 2 UMPs and a Galil come out. And now it should be rather interesting. Greyhound going to stack 4 players over towards B early again, get that single player going aggressive out long, which will be Gratisfaction. Will have spotted that player out, and I don't know if he'll be able to use much of that information. Church is still going to be sitting back. Burn, going to take a lot of damage there from these nades. Just being dropped down by Tainted. And already does look as though Greyhound will actually stick with that B stack.
And we've seen work done by Dexter and Burn with these Deagles in the past, and they're going to be situated in positions to be able to really open the half up, the round up with those entry frags onto the T-side players. And so the slow pressure from the T-side players is actually good for them if they're situated in a good position.
Dick Stacey actually gets pretty aggressive there, doesn't take any damage from the Molotov, and sadly isn't able to do any. A little bit unlucky for him. Yam's going to just put down another smoke. The bomb's actually been left back in the halls. And as such, Offnu actually peeking around here. Into Gratisfaction, won't be able to do any damage, but does know that single player is there. Will fall back just a little bit. And instantly Greyhound are going to rotate at least 2 of these players over. One is actually rotated through into Connector. And the other actually going to come hyper-aggressive through Juliet. But Inns is able to drop Dick Stacey over on B. Looking for Dexter, who's actually going to get a little bit of damage off. Not much. As he will fall back. Chutch peeks out into mid, looking for Gratisfaction. Badger still going to be holding that tight angle, and I don't think he expects him there. Peeking over the top. Won't be doing any damage either. Badger still holding. Looking. Spots Chutch, but doesn't get the damage off. Dexter can drop Inns, but Yam and Chutch will clean up over on the B site. Tainted Minds with just 5 seconds left, mind you. Manage to get on the site, get those kills. Otherwise, that could have been an interesting situation with the clock.
Well, they could have got lucky if they killed one of the bomb planters with 8 seconds on the clock, but Tainted Minds are renowned for playing quite a slow, passive game. They're keeping that map control. They're not wanting to give away any of the rifles. They're just slowly progressing, gaining control without making any mistakes or letting any players get away hiding in an awkward position.
The one thing I actually find quite interesting is quite often you'll see Gratisfaction, he'll just eco, full eco for these 2 rounds to guarantee himself an AWP into that first rifle. But instead, we actually saw him buy the P250 in the previous, so does give me the inclination that maybe he's not too concerned about getting that out super early on this CT side. A little bit of damage coming through. Yam is able to drop Burn. Shots flying through. Zeus is able to drop Dexter. Yam gets another one. Looking good. Zeusy will drop Dick Stacy, and now Badger left 1 versus 5. He'll pick up Zeusy, but Inns will drop him. And that will be Tainted Minds taking up to a nice early 3-0. Greyhound, well, they can finally get a buyout.
Well, this is the round that we're looking for, where they get the AWP and they start going for those aggressive plays with the AWP. It's all about key position, outplaying his opponents, and it looks like the T-side players are going to be saving with the Mac 10, so they're still going to be able to carry on after this round if they lose it, with a strong AK armor buy.
Yeah, it should be relatively strong coming out from them, as well as the fact that Church isn't going to bother upgrading from that Galil. Smoke will go down to cover off Dick Stacy. He'll fire a few shots off. He'll drop Zeusy. Gratisfaction still holding platform. Will drop Yam. Burn will take down Church. Shots through the smoke. Gratisfaction will not connect. Inns now left 1 versus 5. The Mac 10 is going to do at least a little bit of work. He can drop Dick Stacy. Pushing through the smoke down towards the alleyway. Will also drop Burn. Lovely work. Badger looking to peek around. Get this angle. Will drop Inns. Greyhound will pick up their first round, but Inns actually already doing a nice little bit of damage with that Mac 10, dropping 2 rifles.
Yeah, well, that builds up the economy a little bit, but that was great defense to be able to shut down the fast execute. Just to be able to see that, it's making a statement to Tainted Minds that you can't rush us, we're prepared for it, we're going to be able to counter that strategy. So it's going to mean that Tainted Minds are going to have to play other options. Probably the slow and passive map control that they've done previously against the Echoes.
Yeah, well, you'd like to think that with the 5 AK buy, they will take their time, as they do have a lot of utility in behind it. The full armor just means that, I suppose, they've got a little bit more to work with against these M4s. Those helmets do protect them, especially on those double dinks, that they just need to hold on. But Burn, he's going to be playing aggressive on platform. He does have a smoke down, just blocking, and the spam through the smoke is going to just miss him. Fires off a few shots, but Yam, he'll be none the wiser as to where Burn has indeed moved himself off to.
It's so important that they use Gratisfaction's AWP. If he gets isolated or Tainted Minds manage to figure out how to avoid him for most of the game, he's just going to be left out, and he's a major impact player for this Greyhound squad.
New Zealand's best AWPer, would you say?
Definitely. Well, him and Sicko, definitely star players, but Gratisfaction, like, I love to watch him play. I think he's dedicated AWPer. I think he's terrific. I think he's an amazing player.
I reckon he's pretty cute as well. But with his head half blown off, I'm not going to actually go too far into detail with that, as Inns will be able to pick up that first kill. And the CTs will actually have to hold on with that single player towards A. Badger, though, holding in connector, drops Yam early, waiting for Inns, but Inns is able to get the return frags. Leaves that A site almost wide open. On the flank, Dexter is actually pushing down into mid. Don't believe he actually spotted anything, but he will be hearing a lot of this. Dexter will peek up, will spot 1, will drop 1, will drop 2, looking for the 3rd. Chutch now left 1 versus 2. He's dropped Dexter. He's still looking for Burn. He's still looking for Dick Stacy. Molotov goes down onto the site. He's got 10 seconds to work with. He has to plant this open. He'll tap it. Dick Stacy will just give him a bit of a peek. He's only got 4 seconds to work with before he had to get it down, and Burn peeking around. Perfect timing on the flank. It was just a beautiful use of that Molotov as well.
Well, it was smart play from Tainted Minds. When they picked up the kill on Gratisfaction, they knew that they had a way into A site because he's an A site player with the AWP. So they rotated back to A, but it was incredible intelligence from Dexter to be able to create a situation where he's playing defensive on the A ramp and cutting off the direct route onto the A site. And he stopped the plant and managed to kill a 2nd player to boot. So that really set the round up with a 2v1, and Burn did a beautiful flank.
Well, I suppose you'd sort of hope that maybe this is Greyhound getting right back into it. I mean, CT side, that's where you kind of want to start on Cobblestone anyway. They did have their choice, so even just picking up maybe 6 or 7 rounds, especially against Tainted Minds, they'll be, you'd hope, at least relatively happy.
Yeah, I think so. I think 6-7 rounds would be a goal that Greyhounds will be wanting to achieve. I mean, 8 would be perfection, because T-side, you have a lot more freedom. They'll be able to chase those rounds down that they need to be able to win this match.
Yeah, I suppose when it actually comes down to it, you think that maybe if Gratisfaction is able to get going on that AWP on the CT side, whether he might even be able to buy one in on that T side and actually keep it moving, you know, trying to, instead of playing those, I suppose, passive defensive positions, whether he's able to turn it into something a little bit more, which I suppose on that sort of point does actually bring up whether Yam decides to bring out a T-sided AWP at any point here to try and, I suppose, counter Gratisfaction, maybe even just play slightly more aggressive in general.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what sort of cards they pull out. Also, I mean, we've got to remember Ince and the impact that he has with the AWP. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this. Here we're looking at a bit of an eco from the T-side players, and that'll be to try reboot the economy.
You say bit of an eco, but Zeusie's got a deagle.
Well,
and we all know what happens when Zeusie has a deagle.
Yeah, he's a danger man with that gun.
Indeed, he is. But for now, he is just going to be trying to push down this B platform and burn. This is actually a corner that does not always get checked. Quite often you'll see a lot of Ts, they'll just think, oh, there's no chance CT's pushed up that far. They don't actually, I suppose, always have that. But Ends will be able to pick him up. I reckon if he'd stayed in that corner, he would have been perfectly fine, but Gratisfaction is going to peek out relatively slowly. Will spot the player, doesn't get the damage off. Will actually drop down to 68 points of health. Yam is pushing up A long. Dexter has to be careful. Spots and drops Chuch. Needs to expect that player coming from long, but Yam isn't actually going to peek it early. Dexter now, I think he's probably more scared that he hasn't seen that second player. Now thinking that he may have to rotate his team over towards B. But Offnu, he's going to peek out. Drop stick Stacy. Lovely 1D coming out there. Yam will drop Dexter. And now Badger and Gratisfaction peeking through. Badger will be able to pick up one. Can't get any more. Zeusie's dropped him with the M4 that he's picked up. Gratisfaction just waiting with this AWP. He's, would have loved to have seen that just hit through the door. Would have been beautiful.
And yeah, he's having real trouble right here with the AWP. He has not been able to come into this game. And these picks with the Deagles, they just totally came by surprise. The first bullet by 3 different players just landed right on the head. Like, that's so much skill. It's such a hard thing to do. They did it on land. Like, these guys, they're prepared for today. It's exciting to see.
Can I be honest with you? I don't play Cobblestone an awful lot. When I do, I don't enjoy it. I never knew you could actually peek under door just like that. I've never had the actual opportunity with an AWP or a rifle to actually sort of look and go, you know what, this is a really dirty angle I feel like holding today.
Yeah, well, with these pro players, they know every single intricate detail on every map. This is what they do for a living now. These guys are professionals. They're playing an immense amount of hours on this game. They know every single fine detail. And, you know, that's what's going to happen as a spectator. We're going to miss these fine details. But, you know, that's why we're watching and tuning in to see what they can bring.
Yeah, I'd actually be interested to see how many people will take away from this stream and will now go and play Cobblestone and will get caught peeking under that door, focus so much on it that they just get shanked from behind by someone like Urcast, because I know just how much he actually loves Cobble himself. Either way, it does actually force Greyhound onto a force buy around Gratisfaction's AWP. I don't blame them. The more they can get out of this, the better. I mean, the force buy essentially worked for Tainted Minds there. It was, as you said, pretty much an eco. So whatever they can get out of this will be most definitely positive. Gratisfaction will just put out a little bit of utility over towards that B platform. Will force Yam ever so slightly out of position. But he's still going to be able to actually survive with 44 points of health. Gratisfaction, though, he'll drop that straight down to 0. Offnu will be able to drop Dexter in the meantime. But instantly Badger peeks through, drops Offnu, and once again, it's just as if, you know, these ecos remind me of Australian Counter-Strike a lot.
Oh, these Deagles are doing work. It just goes to show the precision in their aim. It's just on point. And Badger showing up for Greyhound early. He's actually made some impressive plays.
Well, it's good to see that they actually put armor behind him as well. You know, there's not just this poor force buy with a little bit of... They've actually opted for the armor before the weapon, and already it's managed to get him 2 kills. That AK could have absolutely ripped through him. Aim Punch would have destroyed him without that armor. He's going to be holding a nice little angle from cannons as Inns looks to peek up the stairs. Will be looking around, but expects him and drops him. Will be aiming to get onto this A site now, but these 3 players all rotating in through connector. Won't be feeling too many shots through the door. Church will be able to just Molotov off. Juliet will be able to just put down the bomb. And now 3 versus 2. This is entirely retakeable for Greyhound, but they need to really focus around Gratisfaction with that AWP, and indeed, he will be putting the flash over. He will just be backing away for the moment. Another flash will come out from Church to keep those CTs blinded. But Church is just going to be watching. Expects the player close. Will be able to drop Burn. Inns will drop Dick Stacey. Now Gratisfaction, he's going to push onto the site. Misses the first shot. Could have actually tapped the bomb there, but instead we'll just keep moving around. Will fall at the hands of Church. And Tainted Minds will be able to knock it up. Get a nice, easy 5-2 lead going. And Gratisfaction and the boys will now be down to an eco.
And that's a huge psychological round. Tainted Minds just won a 2v4. That's massive. Badger, with great play, managed to lose the A site. 3 guys rotating onto the onto the A site. It was just mission impossible.
Yes, as we will be seeing a single P250 come out for Badger. A little bit of a flash behind that. Maybe they're hoping to get a little bit of something going over towards this B side. But Yam, he's pulled out the AWP himself. He will be able to drop Dick Stacey. Burn forced himself back into the corner. And may expect Yam in this position. Peeks around. Yam can't hit the shot. Still looking, still hunting. Misses yet again onto Burn. Looking for it even more. Won't be getting lucky. Zeusy can drop him. Now Badger left 1 versus 5. Saw him do a little bit of damage in this situation before, but this time Zeusy will be able to drop him rather simply over on this B site. Tainted Minds extend their lead up now, 6-2. Greyhound won't be able to get that AWP back in on Gratisfaction just yet, but maybe if his rifling's on point, this would be a good place to start.
Yeah, well, Zeusy was there to support him, and that's what teammates are for.
Oh, do you reckon I suppose, you know, we said that, you know, Greyhound, we're all friends. Do you think Tainted Minds are friends, or do you think they're just acquaintances?
I mean, these are professionals, experienced players who were put together for a reason. There's definitely friendships between them, and when you spend a lot of time with each other, those friendships just grow. But this is a squad that was put together for this very reason, to be in grand finals, winning these events. They were put together for this reason. They've got overseas experience. They're the best of the best. And here we are, getting to see the best of the best compete against Greyhound Gaming.
I love how Inns is just jumping around and Badger's like, do I shoot, do I shoot, do I shoot? I can hear him. Do I shoot, do I shoot? We'll just hold off. Inns is going to peek it. Badger, knowing that Inns was actually looking for that moment, will just back away. And it's just good to see that there is still this knowledge all shared between the Greyhound boys. They are still playing very much together as a unit. Nobody's exactly trying to go off, I suppose, on their own tangent. Everything seems teamworky and happy, I suppose, between the Greyhound boys. Burn is just going to peek up with his M4. Oh, 2 players actually overstacked on that box. Dexter possibly looking to peek up, but no. They're making a lot of noise in the drop area as Inns will look to peek through. An interesting angle to actually peek on, but flashes will head out over towards this B site. Inns will fall at the hands of Dexter. We'll be able to get that time for that reload in. Burn holding on this really awkward angle. Dick Stacey will be able to drop off now. From behind though, Burn will pick up 1, drops Yam. And now Zeusy left 1 versus 4, making it 1v5. He's dropped it to 4. He'll be looking for absolutely anything. He can drop Gratisfaction. He's looking for some more, but Burn will kill him. That'll do it. Greyhound will pick up their 3rd round. Tainted, their economy is still just well enough in check that they can at least get a buyout for the next couple of rounds. But already, Greyhound are proving that they really do want to come back into this and absolutely dominate.
And he's been a massive impact player for Tainted Minds, and we see him top fragging right now. That's good to see for Tainted Minds moving forward. He is a star player. Whenever they win matches, he's performing. And that's something that we see from teams that he's been in. When Ince is top scoring, it doesn't just mean that he's top fragging and playing well. It actually means round wins and game wins. He's a big impact player.
Yeah, that was very dirty there from Gratisfaction. He knew that they wouldn't be as focused having put down that Molotov, and instantly takes advantage of it with his AWP. Offnu will be able to put that flash out. Gratisfaction pops off the shot early, will back away. Doesn't actually get chased hard by Offnu. And that gives him plenty of time to actually get out, keep his health. And he's actually going to boost up on top of... No, he's actually going to boost Dexter. I was going to say, he better not be boosting up with the AWP. It would be a one-hit wonder. He will be holding from danger, and Yam, I don't think he's actually expecting this. There's a lot of boosting coming through, I'd like to point out. And he still hits the shot onto Dexter. My goodness. Did not deserve that. Inns expecting Gratisfaction. Will be able to drop him as well. Leaves this A site relatively open, barring Badger. Rotating through. Just keeping his eyes out towards long. Expecting this push through the smoke. But the 3 players from Tainted in mid will be seeing Inns fall first. Burn expecting this play to still push towards B. It will be Church. Has been spotted. And now Tainted, they must be in 2 minds as to where to go. Molotov's going down, almost as if to just simply force that bomb back away to the A site. But instead, they are going to keep pushing. Chuch looking to find at least one of these players. Flashes absolutely everywhere. They've only got 15 seconds to work with here. Chuch will be able to drop Dick Stacy. Burn will drop Chuch. Instantly, though, Badger can drop Offnu. Yam is over on this B site. He will be able to put the bomb down. He'll be looking for whatever he can get. Yam just going to be able to push around the statue. Doesn't get the shot off onto Burn. Or Badger will be Burn pushing close. Can't hit anything else. In a state of shock, Burn is able to drop Yam. The defuse can come through rather simply for Greyhound. They can keep that AWP alive if they do so wish. Indeed, they do. And this is definitely not poor from Greyhound. Sadly, what will be poor is going to be Tainted Minds' economy after this round if they're not able to pull through and take it out. Greyhound, they've got their nice AKs, they've got the AWPs, they've got the rifles, they've got everything they could want behind it. Tainted, they have that AWP back on Yam. He's been a bit hit and miss with it, missing a fair few shots in comparison to what we usually see from him. Quite often, though, we have actually seen Yam on Train, a map that we're not too sure he hates, you know? I think we see him on Train so much that it's a map that he absolutely loves. He loves AWPing on it. There's not much he can miss. Grat, oh! We'll get the tag onto Chuch through the door. A bit unlucky to get no more than that any higher. And I do believe we'd be seeing Chuch's name crossed out and dead. Burn has been tagged up over by this statue. Yam will be able to drop Dick Stacy, but the nade from Dex has actually dropped Chuch nice and early in this round. Peeking around, Inns is able to drop Burn. He was full white, but Badger, this could be the man to do the work. Peeking around, won't be able to spot any of these players out. Does get himself down behind the statue, though. And with the bomb being down, shot through the smoke could be absolutely crucial. He's looking for Offnu. He will drop him. Inns now left 1 versus 3. If there's a player you want in this situation right now, it is him. He is the impact fragger. But it will be Gratisfaction. Will drop him with a headshot with the AWP. And Tainted, their economy, a little bit back in the dust.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see Greyhounds bounce back. This game really has been a game of runs so far. That 3 towards Tainted, 2 towards Greyhounds. It's been back and forth. We're at this point now, like, we need to get through this eco round against Tainted Minds. We've got to bring this game to 6-all. That's going to be great momentum for Greyhounds moving forward. Their economy is going to be boosted. They're going to have utility to be able to defend the Tainted Minds executes. And we've seen Tainted Minds, they've really run down the clock. And if Greyhounds can use those nades really, really well, they can, you know, put a lot of pressure back onto Tainted Minds to stop that plant.
Just about to say that Burn was risking quite a lot there, peeking into Zeusy and his Deagle. Has actually been tagged down to 61. Badger dropped to 63, but Zeusy is going to be forced back just ever so slightly from that B-long area. Dexter tagged to 59 as well, and the Tainted Boy is doing a lot of work with very little in terms of armor behind those Deagles. Badger will just be able to back away. Inns looking to get aggressive into the connector drop area. Badger is looking, he's heard this, he'll be able to drop Inns. He'll be looking for some more, but they're going to double peek him around the pillar. He still gets Yam. That is crucial for them. Offnu's dropped Badger in the end. But now Offnu has his hands on a rifle. He really wants to drop that over to Zeusy, given the armor behind it. But Zeusy, he'll get the dig onto Dexter. 3 versus 3, the weapons advantage still with Greyhound. Gratisfaction tagged up through the smoke. We'll be looking to push around this. We'll be able to drop Offnu. That is the bomb. 30 seconds to play with. Zeusy drops 1. Dick Stacy can take out Chuch. And now Zeusy left 1 versus 2. He has an AK, he has armor. Burn and Dick Stacy have very little utility between them. They do have kits, but will fall at the hands of Burn and Greyhound.
And every round is to the wire. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have Deagles or rifles. Tainted Minds, they know how to do work and they know how to utilize those pistols in the circumstances that they're given. And look at Badger, he's got 14 frags. He is doing work for a substitute. He is really finding his zone right now. He's stepping up big time, and that's what they need from him. Whew, that's a big ask to, you know, have your substitute, you know, literally carrying you.
Oh. Well, I suppose the difference is we don't often see Greyhound on Cobblestone. Maybe Badger is an absolute lover of Cobblestone, and maybe he's just got some strats that are working against Tainted. It seems to be going all right for them so far, especially the fragging, as Dick Stacy can drop Yam. Inns, though, absolutely on point, as you've said. Badger will be able to drop Church as he pushes the smoke. Offnu looking, can get the flash through, drops Badger. And Burn now left all alone on this B site, looking for anything he can get. Simple peek, can drop ins, looks for Offnu, but Zeusy can drop him in return. And now, Dexter, no, don't burn alive! My goodness, he does survive with but 18 points of health. And Zeusy and Offnu, the two players for him to find the bomb. Getting planted on the site, Offnu will drop him. Tainted will take it to a 7-6 lead with just a couple of rounds left in this half. And Greyhound, you'd expect a near full save out from them here to guarantee themselves something in the 15th.
Yeah, here we go again, back on the pistols. This is going to be an impossible round for Greyhounds to win. So really, we're hoping that they can... Oh, not a 4-spy. Okay, these guys aren't happy going for 7. They want to win it. They think this could catch Tainted Minds off guard because they're quite logical with their approach. They understand that they're going to be quite poor. They could be facing. They could be thinking that they're going to be facing an eco.
To be fair, if they pop off a couple of shots with those 5.7s and Deagles, they might just be in that sense that, you know, oh, they've obviously got no rifles in behind us. So maybe, just maybe, Greatest Faction and Badge will be the ones to hit something here. In's just peeking over. Very cheeky how he decides to peek bottom drop, compared to a lot of players who'll try and do it as silently as possible, or with, I suppose, the use of a lot more utility.
I mean, he's trying to lure out the utility from the CT players and just fish for information, because that's what they want. They're looking for the CTs to give away their positions, and then they're wanting to counter that strategy. But at the moment, they're not being given anything, so they're just slowly progressing the map, trying to figure things out.
I'd just like to point out that Offnu was just sort of so inquisitive about the Molotov that he just stepped in it just to be like, is this hot? Yes, it is. Okay, I'll just take a step back out. Indeed, he's tagged down to 84 points of health. And now Dexter actually holding from the APC. Oh, would be beautiful to just see a couple of nice, crisp Juan Deeks come out there. But we'll put the flash in for Greatest Faction. We'll catch Church off guard. But Greatest Faction getting aggressive will just back away. The 3 players down towards danger. As Dexter... She's just going to take that angle in, hold it even closer. And boy, this could actually be an absolutely clutch angle for Greyhound Gaming.
Well, it looks like Tainted Mind are rotating back to B. With 18 seconds on the clock, that's a lot of pressure, especially when they've got 3 CT players ready to defend.
And Dexter is actually going to be able to drop Church. Zeusy can drop Burn, but with 10 seconds left, Dick Stacey drops in. Zeusy drops another one. Grant, all he has to do is prevent this bomb getting onto the site. Indeed he does, and that's it. They just have to survive. They've already got Dexter over on the A site. It doesn't matter. It's all about the cleanup now. And Greyhound will pick up their 7th round, running the clock down. Yam can drop Dexter, but it doesn't matter. Greatest Faction, he's going to be happy. His team can't get as much of a buy into this, but neither can Tainted.
Oh, Tainted. Wow. I mean, Greyhounds, that was a great round win. We didn't even think they were going to buy it, and they came out with the round win. Incredible stuff.
That was absolutely beautiful. Tainted. I was waiting for the time that the clock was going to run down. It just seemed to become absolutely imminent. You could see that it was getting closer every time. Quite often they were lucky they'd get all 5 frags just in time. They'd get that bomb down with 3 seconds left. That time, they just had nothing in it. And now Dexter, he's going to get aggressive out towards long with this MP9. This could be some absolute cleanup work. Will be one, will be Offnu. Zeusy, he's looking and will be able to pick up Dexter. Church has managed to get a nice Juan Deeg onto Burn. Brings it down to that 3 versus 4, but Zeusy, he's barely a man with those 2 points of health. Peeking through, Greatest Faction picks up 1, picks up 2. Ins and Yam both go. Church still hunting over on this B site, looking for Dick Stacey. Will be able to drop him. Zeusy and Church, though. Church burning down. That'll be Badger dropping him. And now, Greatest Faction cleans up with the AWP. Drops Zeusy and Greyhound, an 8-7 half CT side on a map they were not looking forward to.
I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it either. It's impressive. This is a massive display from Greyhound Gaming against Tainted. What are we going to see in the pistol round? This is so crucial. How are these T-side players going to execute a strategy when they haven't performed it with Badger? I guess time will tell what they're going to bring.
Well, whether you performed it or not, all you have to tell him is entry frag. It's one of the simplest things you can probably just say to do, even if there is any sort of... 5 men?
Oh!
Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll pick up the first, and we'll be looking for a second. We'll drop Badger. Offnu will drop Burn. Uh-oh, not looking too good. Dick Stacey gets caught out by Church, and the aggression, it's working from Tainted. Dexter needs to pick up at least, I suppose, 2 kills here to make anything worthwhile. But the bomb being down, he's just peeking around. He's just expecting these players to be flanking on him from all angles. Looking. Won't be able to drop ins. Aggression works out nicely. Trying to get it back to 8-all, coming into their CT side on their map. Maybe it's not so much Greyhound's T side that they're worried about. They're just hoping that they have a very, very strong CT side.
Total control from Tainted Minds there. I'm interested with what the Greyhound gaming team were trying to organize there. I thought when they went into that position that they were actually going to be playing it completely passive, anticipating that CTs were going to push mid and then maybe walk towards B, maybe get a free passage route long A onto the A site. But yeah, they really caught them off guard by surprise and landed all their shots. It was impressive.
Yeah, you could say that one was kind of rough for Greyhound gaming. And you'd like to think that maybe this time around something might work. They've got the CZs, they've got the Deagles. And Church getting aggressive though, picks up 1-2. Gets a heavy tag onto the third, and that is Burn. Zusi will be able to drop Badger. And already not looking the best for Greyhound. A single kill for Dexter would be good. A single kill for Burn would be definitely positive. That nade, absolutely destructive of this Greyhound side. And really, it's as if Tainted Minds are just looking to put down the dog.
Well, that's what we expect against these eco buys, force buys. It's the CTs trying to build their economy, and being such a structured team, this is what they really do well. CT side players, they play T side like their CT side.
Yeah, I suppose that's just the structure that you get from Tainted. That aggression, they know it'll work, and they've at least got that little bit of positivity themselves, as they will be able to regain that lead. I suppose that's probably one of the crucial mental factors as well. You lose that lead over the half and you think maybe it's just not looking too good in our favor, especially when you lose some interesting rounds. But Church, he'll be able to do a bit of work. Pick up 1, pick up 2. Yem can drop Burn, but Badger will get him back. Looking to peek out into mid. Gratisfaction just trying to get a little bit of damage off with that P250. Will be backing away, but instantly Inns, he's already on the flank. He's aggressive. He will be hunting for Badger now, but he's already backed out to long. There's a chance that just maybe he'll be able to get and go somewhere. Will spot Inns, but Inns will clean him up, especially with that MP9, increasing that money. He's got 7 grand in the bank. And Greyhound will finally be able to get their first buyout.
Well, this is great for Tainted Minds at the moment. Their confidence is going to be through the roof. It also gives them the freedom to be able to mix it up, sort of take a little bit of a risk with the rifles. They don't have to fully upgrade to double AWP just yet, which we see them do quite often. So they've got a lot in store for Greyhounds right now. So Greyhounds have to turn it up right now, and they got to bring these AKs.
Yeah, interesting to see, because Gratisfaction, he only bought a P250 for the last couple of rounds. So I am surprised that he hasn't brought an AWP out. Obviously wants to get that full armor in behind it. Wants to get that utility out as well. And maybe, I suppose, given how those first couple of rounds went, he's expecting this aggression from Tainted Minds to maybe get in the way of his AWPing. So instead, we'll just keep it down to those AKs on the T side for now. Aggression has paid off for Zusi, who's able to drop Dexter nice and early. But once again, Greyhound, they seem to be playing a lot further towards this A site than B. And it just isn't making sense.
Well, at the moment, they're playing these really individual plays trying to get picks, but it's just not working out with the defense from the CT side.
Yeah, Burn, though, he is able to pick up Church. Yam getting pushed aggressively. Another flash will come over the top. Gratisfaction going to be looking to clear Yam out. Will be doing a bit of damage onto Zusi as well, but Yam, he can peek around. Perfect shot onto Gratisfaction, brings it down to that 2 versus 3. Yam through the wall. Will fall at the hands of Burn. And now Offnu and Inns with, I suppose you'd say, a weapons disadvantage here, as the bomb will make its way onto the site. Badger can plant, and you really have to wonder now whether Tainted Minds will be able to get back onto this site. Flashes will go out. Offnu and Inns both going to be peeking from the doors. Inns will look to push. Burn actually going to be sitting very close out long. Flash will go down. Badger still on site. Burn's able to drop Offnu, but that gives away Inns' position. Badger now has full health, only needs a single tap onto Inns' head. Will put down the Molotov, but Inns is going to win it out. Will drop Badger, has the kit, has at least enough time. Will hop on the bomb. And Tainted Minds, they will pick up their 11th round.
I really wish Burn got away after that first frag. Would have been great if he managed to survive, but Inns managing to pick him up, he knew the location of Badger and was able to beat him in that 1v1. Whew. I mean, that's a really important round for Greyhounds. It's disappointing that they didn't get it, and this is just building the economy for the CT bank.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Inns in that bottom right corner and you just think that CD stash has to be getting him somewhere here. And, oh, it's a dirty Mo. It's not even Movember, mate.
Yeah, shave it off, hey, far out. Nah, come on, it looks great. It goes with his fragging.
He's still attractive. Yeah, exactly, it's attractive.
Yeah.
His fragging's attractive, he's attractive to the teams. I don't think it matters. Not too much, at least. Facial hair is probably the least of these guys' issues right now. Either way.
Yeah, can you even grow any?
Oh, hey. No, I can't actually. Greyhound will be getting out first entry, second entry. Both Offnu and Inns falling. Zusi gets one back, but Burn cleaning up. This bomb is going to go down. Tainted, they're already off saving. Inns' facial hair could not save them this time.
No. And this is just what Greyhounds needs. They need something to lift their spirits and get them back into the game. They need to feel it, and I'm happy to see them get a round win.
Yeah, I mean, on the T side as well, just the aggressive fragging. Dexter will be going aggressive with just the CZ. Gets a little tag onto Yam, but you do wonder if maybe he would have been better off trying to get his hands onto one of those rifles and just saving that into the next. It's a bit 50-50 as Yam will drop Burn as well. They're on the hunt, and this aggression, it is paying off at least. Gratisfaction will drop Yam, will be looking, and will drop Chuch.
Oh, that's so fortunate to be able to, get those two rifles off the CT players. The CTs were looking to save them. Their economy is strong already, but they're going to have to force another AWP buy, which is incredibly costly, and that might actually prevent them from being able to get the double AWP in CT early as well.
Indeed, well, it's already forced Offnu down to a FAMAS over an M4, so that's at least one positive that Greyhound could bring into this. But at the same time, unlike a lot of, I suppose, lower-level players, these guys know the spray patterns of every weapon they could imagine using. So being forced down to a FAMAS isn't as bad, it just doesn't have that same damage output. Compared to someone else who'd put a FAMAS in their hands, accidentally put it onto a burst fire, and then just complain. That's me.
Like with professional athletes, we don't question them and their ability in sport, right? And these guys are professional athletes. The amount of hours that they put into this game, the amount of commitments, they know this game inside out. If anyone's going to know anything about this game, it's these players right here. It's just so impressive to see them perform on the grand stage and the Let's Play Live grand final. And we're in the grand final right now. Like, this is 11-9. Oh. This is getting closer to 16 rounds. I'm feeling it.
You see, it's always getting closer to 16 rounds until someone hits 16 rounds, Chris. I'd like to just point that out. The first team to 16 does win. So it's always going to get a little bit closer, unless we have some sort of massive technical difficulty that just throws everything in reverse. But Offnu will pick up the first kill. Dick, Stacy, Dexter, and Badger, though, will pick up 4 in return. That's just a big goodbye to you, and you. Leaving just Yam. Picks up 1, can't get the transfer onto Dexter. Nice work there. Picks up his second kill of the round. Greyhound will knock themselves up onto 10. And Tainted Minds now sitting barely around ahead once more.
Yeah, 1 round lead with the economy broken. That should bring the round up to 11-11. It's really good to see Greyhounds getting the momentum back, but again, it's a game of runs. But they need to get ahead right now. They need to switch that run so that they're in favour. Because if we keep going this way, Tainted Minds, they could be winning the 16-14. So this is the moment that things need to switch. Greyhounds need to go on a run of maybe 4 to 5 rounds. Take it away.
Well, 4 to 5 rounds. I suppose if you're counting the previous ones, it does get them a little bit closer. If you count 4 or 5 rounds from now, they're in an almost dominating position. So I am interested to see just how this will go down. Dick Stacy, lovely work from him. They are clearing out the angles that maybe you don't always check. But definitely a positive thing to do, especially when you know that this eco could be absolutely costly. Peeking around, Dick Stacy picks up 1 and 2. Inns able to get a trade back, but Dexter dropping Zusi in the meantime. Inns will fall. Yem, the last player alive once more. Evens up the scoreline. Dick Stacy goes hard. And Greyhound, well, you'd say that they're getting into it on their T side.
They're confident right now. They're feeling it. We're seeing other, the players that were down the bottom of the board really step up. They're finding their comfort zone on the T side as opposed to the struggling on the CT. I think that's why they picked, that's why this half, it's better for them. Playing with Badger, there's a bit more flexibility on T side players. They can sort of wing it a bit and play into the space.
I was just going to say, how are our Kiwi boys doing on the scoreboard? I didn't actually have a good check of that. I'd be interested to know whether we've got our boy Gratisfaction fragging, whether Zeusy and Ofnu are right up there. Because, I mean, we already know that Inns is at the top alongside Badger. But at the same time, it'd be interesting to see just how they're doing.
Well, I think, you know, with the trend, with the nature of the map, Cobble, facing the defense, it's definitely the rotation of the X. Whoa, Dex with the nice headshots.
Actually, he's going to find two. Ofnu's able to get a single back, but Dex are going ham. Picks up a third. And this Hound is absolutely out for blood right now. Yem and Chuch not going to clutch. And will be instantly off for that save. Back to the dog kennel, just trying to hide from these teeth. And we'll actually see Greyhound yet again take the lead for only the second time in this map. But this time at a much more crucial stage.
Yeah. And as I was saying before, the trade game, relying on your teammates to support those frags, that's what this map really brings out in players. Not so much these 3-4 kills that one individual can pull out. So that's why we're having a team effort. We're seeing all the kill counts being quite evenly dispersed between teammates.
Yes, lovely to see. Chuch does manage to actually upgrade to an AK as well. So that's, I suppose, a relatively solid start for him. And we do actually have a quick look at this. Zeusy is up there, 18 frags himself. Ofnu sadly sitting at the bottom for Tainted. Gratisfaction in the middle for the Greyhound boys. So I suppose they'll be looking for a knockout just like Joseph Parker on Sunday.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that as well. That's going to be exciting stuff.
It should be absolutely beautiful. But I suppose the knockout punch that we're looking for right now is going to actually be from Greyhound Gaming, taking this lead, looking to get this push out, looking to force around. Inns is going to go down. That's the B site left almost wide open. Players have to rotate in through. Flashes come through. Burn is able to get Ofnu and drop him. Lovely work there, Yam. He's already thinking about the save here. He's looking once more through the doors. Nice cheeky little angles, looking over the top. Just peeking around. He's not going to spot anybody. And the bomb will indeed be planted. Badger will just be able to sit behind the door, and instantly they're off for that save. They've not managed to drop a single Greyhound player, and every little bit is going to count. That $650 worth of armor, the $500 into the CZ, it's all going to matter in the end. And Zeusy, he's just got to back away as well.
Oh, what a call from Greyhound Gaming to rush B site. That was awesome. That's Dexter at his best. Oh, that was a great call. I mean, they totally hit the site without anybody able to defend or stop them. I think there was one player on stat that was able to, you know, offer some type of defense, and he was just annihilated.
Yep, that was Inns, and sadly, he did fall near immediately. Now, I do have to wonder if, you know, we've got Kat. She does her interviews in studio. I do actually have to wonder if she believes that they just yelled Suka Rush B for that one. Because that would have been interesting. But we do see that Zeusy and Yam do pick up kills right at the end of the round. Does mean that whilst they don't save an awful lot more, there is still that double up setup coming out from Tainted Minds. Now, this could be where it comes in absolutely clutch. We do see one on Yam, one on Inns. That's a generic setup for them, quite often on this CT side. And actually, one of the times that we see them win a lot more rounds.
Oh, Badger with a huge shot down mid. Not even needing Gratisfaction getting the opening frag.
It doesn't matter, does it? You know, Yam pulls out that double up. They can't even save that double up for more than 20 seconds, let alone 10. Zeusy is going to be able to peek up, though. Gets the kill onto Dick Stacey. He looked a bit shaky there, but Badger will get a single trade in return. Chuch will fall. Flashes, Molotovs, everything coming through. Burn, he's playing hyper-aggressive here. He's dropped off New. Gratisfaction will put down a smoke. Peeking around, expecting the player in Juliet, and that'll be Gratisfaction popping off. Gratisfaction getting the satisfaction, and Greyhound up to 14 rounds.
I love it. I mean, Badger got the opening frag, and the T-side players were just like, hit him hard.
Look at the smile on his face. Look at the smile on that man's face. He is absolutely ecstatic right now, as Greyhound are on the verge of beating Tainted Minds here. They do need that 2 more rounds, but with Tainted on essentially a full eco here, this could be it.
I mean, this is awesome. I mean, the players are just feeling it right now. That push from Burn, he didn't stop. He just ran all the way into the A side.
Oh, but Tainted are feeling this. They're feeling a 5-man stack on B, and this could be absolutely crucial. Badger will be that first person peeking out, but Burn will be able to drop Yam early. Nades coming through. Badger drops 1, drops 2. Spray control. Lovely work. Inns and Chuch both fall. Zeusy, he's peeking around. He's looking. He'll drop at the hands of Dick Stacey. Badger's picked up Ofnu in the meantime, a 3K for him. And this super sub coming out, he's dropped 25. Greyhound on top here. Double up will come right back out for Tainted Minds. But map number 1, we thought it would come down to the wire. We thought it would be a little bit closer than this. I don't know if it will be.
I mean, when Greyhound needed to turn it up, they did. I mean, they held the game tight. It was 11-9 to Tainted Minds, and they're running away with it right now. 15-11 with match point. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this could be absolutely crucial here. Church will be able to peek in, picks up the first kill onto Burn. Dick Stacey, though, gets Yam right back. Will be able to put a flash up, a smoke up, but Dick Stacey won't get caught out. Inns drops Dexter, brings it down to that 3 versus 4. Gratifection still has that AWP up. He's looking for one of these players. He's looking. Zusi, though, is going to get the tag. He's going to go hunting, and he will just back away. They have to go looking for something. As Tainted Minds, they do still have those 4 players ready to go. Zusi just playing through. And well, he's actually going to be on the flank, but he's already flanked a little bit too far, you'd think. Zusi is just going to be peeking through. He's going to be spotting Gratifection, but he's not going to do anything. Be interested to see if he actually pulls out a knife here. No. He's just going to be waiting, but the bomb, he's just going to drop him, and oh, you really wanted to see the knife come out there. Let's be completely honest. You just wanted to see him shank him, but at the same time, you do think maybe he was actually expecting another player to be in front of or around him, but shots through. The bomb plant can come down. They've got 20 seconds to play with. 18 will see the bomb planted, and now 2 versus 4. Greyhound should lose this out, and Dick Stacey will fall immediately. Badger, he has to find 4 kills here. He won't find it. Zusi will drop him, and Tainted Minds will be able to pick up this round. Plenty of work goes in from them, and they have at least that little bit of success. A few little fist bumps coming through there. No chair slaps from Ferg yet. I'd be interested to see if those do come through. But Tainted trying to force themselves back in here. Greyhound's economy, though, looking absolutely stunning.
Oh, they've got a lot of freedom to be able to play the rest of this match out with AKs and armor. So they're looking good. I mean, it's going to be really tough for Tainted Minds to bring it back, but I mean, we've seen them do it before, and they're a strong enough team, one of the best teams in Australia, and like I said, like they said, they're competing for the #1 spot right now. This is what this game's really going to decide. Who's better?
Yes, it will decide exactly who is better, and I do wonder whether it will come down to, I suppose, a third map, or whether this is just going to be, I suppose, simple and easy for Greyhound. Maybe a sweet 2-0. They would absolutely love that. Maybe they can hit up the pub afterwards before their next set of matches. Either way, Gratifection will get it underway with the first frag. Dexter knows exactly where Offnu is. We'll be able to drop him. That leaves this B site relatively open, except for Zusi. He picks up 1, picks up 2. Looking for the third. Burn will drop him. Dick Stacey, not expecting this player close, but Chutch is going to fall. Yam is now left 1 versus 3. And this should be Greyhound taking out the map. He absolutely has to go for this. It's not looking absolutely beautiful as Yam will peek through the smoke. Yam will be looking, and Burn, he's going to drop him. Greyhound will pick it up. A solid 16-12. Oh, Gratifection. He's happy. He's oh, he's absolutely ecstatic at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, man.
This is already beautiful to see.
Oh, these boys are happy. I loved seeing the emotion on these guys. You know, they're just so happy with that result. And to see Badger show up large, the last person we expected to be coming into this game as a big-time player and a big-time fragger.
Mate, seeing them happy just makes you happy, doesn't it?
Oh, it does,
Everything makes you happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Greyhounds fan. That is my thing. Gratifection, you know, I was playing matchmaking with this guy this week. I felt real cool, you know, with a star player, a hero. And, you know, to see him doing really well, it's great to see.
That's a relatively fair call to make. And now, I suppose that was Tainted Minds' map pick. I don't think that went anywhere near as they would have liked. So I do have to wonder, like, I
mean, they got
where
no
do they
excuses.
okay? Where do they go from now? Because they've got 2 more maps that they could possibly have to play, and they have to at least win Overpass against possibly the best Overpass team in Oceania.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where do you go? I mean, they can only hope that Badger isn't. I mean, the way he played in this game, I mean, we can't even use that as an excuse, can we? I mean, Greyhounds, they just destroyed them. On Overpass, I'm not too sure what to see, but if this goes to a third map, Greyhounds is looking really good. I really do like Overpass and Nuke as their maps.
Well, Long A, it has a tree. I think we're starting to spark up the wrong tree. So instead, I'm going to throw this straight over towards Dallas. What do you think of that, mate?
I mean, it's so many things to begin with, but first of all, thank you very much, Nutters, and obviously Gratisfaction's #1 fan in the form of Wayfarer there. Cannot love that man enough. But, I mean, if you're just joining us, we've just seen Greyhound pick Cobblestone up, map #1 of the grand final here at the Alpha Invitational, and in stunning fashion as well. I think the first talking point's going to have to be Badger showing up out of nowhere, the super sub. What an absolute legend.
Yeah, that was a sick game by him. It looks like he just came into the game with no fear, I guess. His aim was on point, and he was getting a lot of vital kills. You notice on that terrorist side, he was just running out a lot, using his aim with that rifle and taking out the Tainted Mind side. So he'll be very happy with the way he played that game.
So yeah, Greyhounds picking themselves up an early 1-0 lead over Tainted Minds. And I mean, you know, the odds were obviously, you know, not in their favor, you know, using the substitute. Obviously, the confidence coming out from Tainted Minds was there as well. And so now, if you're Tainted Minds and you're going ahead, how are you feeling?
I guess you're feeling a bit shell-shocked. That was their map pick. So going into that, they started off well as well. They really had Greyhounds under the pump. So to have Greyhounds under the pump on your own map and to not come away with the win while you have a sub, I guess that maybe they shouldn't be so confident, in my opinion, you know. So they really do need to maybe just go back to the drawing board and have a look at their own game and make a few changes, because I feel like they're really going to need to up their game and make a few changes if they're going to take these boys down.
Speaking about going back, let's go back and have a look at some of the highlights from the map there to see obviously how things played out if you did miss any of the action. And I think this was quite the pivotal round for Greyhound here. Obviously needing to pick up this round because they forced themselves into it, and it was absolutely great stuff here. You know, the casters mentioned, you know, they were backs against the wall, didn't want to, you know, just finish up with 7, wanted to win out the half. They forced by into this round and play the timing perfectly. But, I mean, the man, you know, we were about to see it there, the clutch there from Inns. So, you know, obviously Greyhound, good job to them. But Inns, you know, what a standout player for TM, you know, getting themselves the clutches when they needed.
Yeah, Inns had a really solid game individually. I think TM can be a little bit, I guess, unlucky with their results. They did put in some good individual performances, and they did have Greyhounds under the pump a bit there. So there is definitely some good signs going into the next game for them.
And I guess the other thing as well, something that I sort of noticed, was that Yam was just, you know, a pixel off on a lot of those AWP flicks. You know, he was just so close. I feel like if Yam... Maybe, you know, I'm not saying change of sensitivity or anything like that, but Yam was, I'd say, not the reason why they lost, by no stretch of the imagination, but if he was making those shots, I think things would have gone a little bit more in their way. You know, some of those AWP
CS
shots
is a fine margin, and if you're the sniper rifle, as I said before, you really bring a lot to the team. So if you're missing your shots by a little bit, then that really is going to impact you in the long run.
And so, I mean, Cobblestone being Tainted Minds' pick, you know, how do you feel going down? You know, when it's your map you've picked and now you've been beaten by a team who obviously are using a sub as well.
Yeah, that does suck, but in terms of the maps, all these teams have played each other on basically every map, so they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So coming into this, although it isn't Tainted Minds map, they can still be confident that they have something to offer and that their own tactics will be able to give them a chance to win this map.
And so, I mean, that's the other thing as well. So if you're the coach, if you're Ferg now with Tainted Minds, what are you telling the boys?
Just to regroup, basically. It is only one map. There's still 2 maps to go, and if you keep the last result and you know you're not going to perform as well. So just get it out of your system, focus on the next 2 games, and still they're only 2 maps away from, you know, winning this tournament, so they just need to keep that in mind.
Obviously, Greyhound are going to be feeling pretty confident. You know, do you think that's something that they might slip up? You know, are they a team that have the experience, you know, to keep their mindset ready and follow through and close this out in 2?
I honestly do. I feel like Greyhounds are a very level-headed team. They, as you said before, they're all mates and they all know what to expect from each other. So this is just another day at the office for them. So I feel like they'll come into the second map giving it all, but knowing that Tainted Minds really is going to give a fight to them, so they need to bring their A game.
And I guess the other thing to ask you as well would be, you know, so if you are Tainted Minds, what do you feel let them down on Cobblestone there? You know, what was I personally think the eco round was the changing point. That was when the momentum shifted. But for yourself?
In the first half, they were up, I think, by quite a few rounds, but they really could have pushed ahead a bit more and given themselves more of a buffer on that terror side. I think to only get 8 rounds when you're winning 6-2, it's not ideal. So for that first half, I think they really needed to push through and get another at least 2, maybe 3 more rounds, which would have given them a lot more of a buffer going into that second half.
And I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about as well, Tainted Minds came out swinging in the second half. You know, that aggressive push when they were playing CT was, I would like to say, you know, one of the nicer things I've seen, especially because you could see Greyhound setting up for whatever that was going to be, you know, some kind of long A fake or whatever it might be.
Yep.
Do you think, you know, coming off the back of that, how did they lose their momentum, you know, moving forward?
I feel like, well, as you said, they pushed, the CTs went really aggressive. I think in the second half, the Terrorists played really aggressive and sort of got in their faces, which sort of countered the way that Tainted Minds were doing things.
Well, it is going to indeed be Overpass next up. Greyhound leading the series 1-0. Tainted Minds backs against the wall. Let's throw it over to the Punny Nutters and Wayfarer to take us into map number 2.
Oh, map number 2. This is going to be Overpass. I don't think we were ready for this, were we, Chris? Let's be completely honest with each other.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of an interesting discussion. And I do think we've got Overpass coming up. As we've said, Greyhound, they are the best team, at least of recent times, on Overpass, even before they were actually branded as Greyhound.
Yeah. Typically, I mean, I love to see Gratisfaction on Overpass, the way he orbs, the way he rotates. His pistol game is on point, using the boxes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you're feeling it tonight,
Yeah.
eh? You're on fire, man. You're
I'm
lit.
feeling it. I hope you're feeling it. I mean, it's an absolutely hype night. We're live. We're in the Sky Tower. We've got possibly some of the best conditions for these players to be playing in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite a warm one, actually. I'm sweating a little bit, but, you know,
It gets
I think
hot casting, doesn't it?
we're all sweaty nerds anyway, so I don't think it's anything new. But
we own it. We own it.
Well, yeah, you
I
just
don't know
got to
about
own
you,
it.
I mean.
Well,
But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to own it a little bit better. I mean, it's the beard, isn't it? The fact that I can't grow the facial hair.
Yeah, yeah, I did call you out on that. Anyway, they're competing for $5,000. Competing for $5,000 right now.
Yeah.
This is what this game determines. And Tainted Minds is going onto a map that they weren't, like, you know, not their pick.
Yeah, they're not expecting much. Well, I don't say they're not expecting much. They're expecting to win. Everybody goes into this expecting to win, and you do feel at least slightly bad for them, especially losing on your own map pick. This time around, though, they go onto Overpass. They do have the choice of sides. They will be heading on to CT to start us out. So I suppose it gives them at least the advantage. You look at the Greyhound boys. They've all got smiles on their faces. I think Gratisfaction's probably just tweeting out, "Look how good I did. I did really
mate.
good."
He was feeling it, wasn't he? Oh, showing us his emotion on the camera. Yeah, no, good to see. Yeah, and he's sending a message out to New Zealand that, you know, we're going to win this, boys.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
Well, I mean, at least whoever wins, a Kiwi's winning. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
If it's Gratisfaction, if it's Offnu or Zusi,
Yeah.
someone's going to win. Someone's going to be a Kiwi, and everyone can just be like, we're really happy. You look at Offnu, he's just a specimen of a man.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a star player who came from Winterfox over in America. He had a stint over there with Zusi.
Are we going to talk up any of the actual, any of the other boys? Are we going to talk up any of the Aussies? Probably not. You
Here's
look at
Zusi.
Nice little forehead.
Yeah,
It's a
Ryan
beautiful
Palmer.
forehead.
Yeah, he's from Hamilton. Yeah, he was playing with Offnu in America, and there's Gratisfaction. Yeah,
The
our
Gizzy
boy
boy.
from Gizboy. Our boy from
Gizboy.
Gisborne. Yeah.
The Gizboy.
Yeah, yeah. And hello to his brother Halo back home, who taught him everything he knows. Fire up,
Ooh.
represent. Yeah, CS New Zealand on Discord. Let's go.
That's beautiful. And what is even more beautiful is that we are getting straight in here into this pistol round. Yam, he's going to get aggressive straight back towards the fountain. Dexter pops off a single shot in return. Dexter's quite enjoying this T-sided buy of, I suppose, a smoke and a flash. He's enjoying that utility play. Offnu once again comes through with the utility for the CTs in Tainted. But pushing up Offnu, he's going to be the first to fall. Ins will be able to pick up one. Zusi gets one back. Still got to find Zusi around the site, though. Dexter will drop Chuch, and Badger takes down Zusi. Leaves one player left. Yam is playing from short. Will actually be heading down through the second tunnel. But the bomb, to be fair, it could also just go straight down onto the A site. Instead, they decide to stick it over on B. Yam, here's that flash coming. He's able to back away. Catches out Dexter, though. But Badger, he's still looking to push through. Yam just taps away. Tapping down and will drop Badger. Got his hands on the kit as well. And the CTs in Tainted Minds will be able to pick up the first round. Lovely work from them yet again. We see it come through positive in their favor.
Yeah, clinical mistake from Dexter there. Switching off positions, getting caught in no man's land. If he had have just stayed tight on Graffiti, he would have been fine there.
Yeah, a little bit awkward, but, you know, there's not much you can do with, I suppose, a P250. It's all right at range, but that accuracy after the first bullet is never as beautiful as it used to be.
I mean, it came down to timing. It was just beautiful timing from Yam, and he really caught him off guard.
Yes, and Yam, with that nade, won't really catch much off of Burn. Only 11 points of health. Will be able to back himself away into long, as he so does. The T-side will be looking to at least get something out of this. Interesting that they've actually forced board up here, especially given that they did get that bomb plant, maybe a couple of P250s, and they guarantee themselves AKs into the next round. But I suppose a forced buy is exactly what we expect from these Dog Hound boys. Dick Stacey will drop Church, Yam will drop Badger, but Dick Stacey's in hard. Will be able to take Yam, brings it down to that 3 versus 3. Looking to get his hands back on some sort of weapon, but I don't think he'll be getting too lucky either. He's still going to be looking with this MP9. I'll be interested to see if he gets any frags with that.
Yeah, it looked like Dick Stacey was going to go in hard, but then he fell back.
Yeah, it's you do actually wonder if he just got a bit soft towards the end and, you know, you just couldn't actually commit to it. But we will be seeing them play down towards this B site now. Zeusy, he has the UMP. He'll be looking to find at least one of these players, but Dick Stacey still going to hold in con. Dexter's got the Galil, but still, they're looking, but they're not looking hard enough. There's 30 seconds left. They need to find a push somewhere. The CTs have had plenty of time to rotate, and I do believe Offnu's actually, yep, he's dropped all the way down towards the B site as well. And now with these smokes down, they have to act. 20 seconds. Plenty of utility left, but a lot of that they'll probably want to keep for the after plant as well. A push will come through. Zeusy getting a little bit of damage off, but Offnu picks up the first kill. He'll be looking for a little bit more. Zeusy's able to drop Burn, leaving Dexter, and that will be it. Offnu will drop him 2-0. The CTs will lead. Means that this buy from the terrorists is just going to be an eco. A little bit poor given that they could have just had AKs out and still been at a 2-0.
I guess they're running off the confidence from the last map, what they got away with. You know, they're feeling it at the moment. They wanted to get straight into it and return the, you know, the favour back to Tainted Mind. But, yeah, I mean, they got put down right there and it looked quite easy at the end of it.
How much difference do you think it makes getting, I suppose, a side pick on the opposition's map over the actual map choice yourself? So Tainted Minds, you know, they've picked CT start on Greyhound's map. Do you think that's given them more of a boost, or do you think Greyhound will just come back through and annihilate from the CT side?
I like to think that the AWP players have a big impact, make a big impact on the round.
As Gratisfaction, the AWP player comes in with a Glock instead. Yep. Picks up one. But, yeah, feel free to continue. This should be a quick cleanup.
Well, there's a lot of opportunities for the CT AWP player to take on aggressive lines. Aggressive party with the AWP, or controlling aggressive long. Even going unders, getting the connector. There's a lot of options that you can do, and it really brings a player like Gratisfaction into the game because he's really great at getting that first frag, and he's so sharp.
Yeah, and just like that, Tainted Minds are able to clean up. Yam, the only person to fall to the Glock of Gratisfaction. Doesn't do too much for their economy. It does mean that they get that buy right back in and up. And indeed, there won't be as much utility as Greyhound would have wanted for their first rifle round. And interestingly enough, we will be seeing Tainted pull out that AWP on Yam nice and early. The run boost off Grat. He tries to get back onto Burn or Dexter's head. See if he can actually continue that all the way down towards Monster. Would have been a beautiful sight. But instead, Burn getting hyper-aggressive, pushing straight through, straight up onto short. And this rush could be absolutely clutch. He's already in at sandbags. And Dexter will be looking to actually double peek this with him. Offnu, I do believe, is jump spotting for at least one of these players if he can spot them. But Dick Stacey's already been tagged down rather heavily, down to 15 points of health. Yam only dropped ever so slightly with the AWP. Offnu still just jumping, still just peeking. Zeusy has upgraded himself to the Galil on site, but either way, they will just be holding off and waiting. Burn reveals that he is in at sandbags already. Molotov smokes, all just going down. Dexter, though, is actually going to get boosted up over the smoke. That gives him a huge advantage, but Zeusy getting aggressive will drop one. He spotted him, but he hasn't spotted a player in heaven. He does spot Yam in the end. Gets lucky there. Looking for the second player. He'll drop ins. Lovely work. Still hunting Zeusy. He's full flash, but instead peeks around the pillar. He's going to fall. Church is meant to drop Burn. And now the push has to come through. Dexter and Badger. 80 points of health between them. Up against two full health players. Church is in behind them. He can just flash up and hide. Offnu peeks out, picks up one, picks up two. Lovely work from him. A 4-0 lead for Tainted Minds.
Right, that was great team assistance. Beautiful play from Church with the flash. Offnu timing his push perfectly. It was a great turn of events because Dexter got 3 sick frags on the sandbags. I thought Greyhounds got it with that play, but you know they had to go back for the bomb, and disappointed to see them lose it.
Yeah, it's always sad when you see that part actually cost you. And Yam, he's confident that he can buy in with just an MP9. Up against these 5 Deagles, though, single bullets could be spelling the end for Tainted. Dexter will just be able to surf up the wall. Just looking for anything Gratisfaction. He'll be the man peeking around. Ooh, doesn't spot. Nope, does spot Church and does tap that one Deag onto him. Dexter's actually the only person to have put armoring behind his Deagle. And I do find that at least relatively interesting. Dexter, almost caught out by Zeusy there, but instead we'll be able to peek around. Zeusy still gets the better of him. It's not always positive, but Burn and Badger, 2 of the Bs, pushing up long. There's Inns essentially left alone to play this A site, but I don't think he's got too many concerns. Dick Stacey's managed to get his hands onto the AK that Gratisfaction dropped, but that will be Yam in behind them already. Picks up 1, picks up 2. The AK does no work. Inns will drop Badger, and now Burn left 1v4. Yam can upgrade himself back to the AK. Burn looking for absolutely anything. Will peek out. Yam, even with 22 points of health, will survive, will knock through. And already, you see Ferg in the background just going, yep, just pull it, yep, no, push it, yep, no. The hand movements, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Well, that's the coach right there, you know, telling them what they need to be doing, keeping them focused on the task at hand. They don't want Greyhounds coming back into this. You know, they want to keep the strong lead and they want to run away with it for as long as they can.
Absolutely. Greyhound. Well, we see Gratisfaction pull up that AWP, and I really want to see how well this will work for him. Inns already going for this boost over the wall, trying to get some angles down into water, but it looks like it'll be instantly up towards A for Greyhound, at least early in this round. Church will be getting slightly aggressive to a position that he shouldn't be able to own, but he will drop Dick Stacey. Takes a bit of the command out long. Gratisfaction doesn't hit that AWP shot, runs into the fire, and just has to back ever so slightly away. Aggression from Dexter. Will see the bomb dropped as well. Smoke will come out as Badger can peek around. Drops 1. Burn drops Church. On site, Yam. He's just going to get pushed close. Badger absolutely pushing this one hard. Looking around on site. He'll drop off Nu as well. My goodness. Zeusy now left 1 versus 3. The players all tagged though. And this means that damage can be done. Gratisfaction behind the truck. I don't think they know exactly where he is. They do now. He will fall. Badger and Burn, 11 points of health. Zeusy, he can clutch this out. He will be looking to. Neither of these players needs to peek out here, but Badger, he'll be feeling absolutely on point with these 3 kills so far. He will peek out. Zeusy will drop him. And now, it is planted at truck, so this may confuse them ever so slightly as to whether he can get this defuse. He will just jump in. He will just tap it. He will see the Molotov come out, and that might actually have just forced him off. Perfect timing. And Zeusy, no, I don't think he's going to be able to defuse this. He is just going to have to run. And Greyhound, they will pick up their first round thanks to Burn and that beautiful little bit of Molotov usage.
Oh, that was a well thought out play. That was great work from Greyhounds. They totally prepared to clutch that, and running the clock like that with the Molotov was perfect.
Yeah, I don't think they could have asked for much more. It's perfect use of the time, especially when you've got 2 heavily tagged players. At least you know in that corner he has to spend at least maybe a second to a second and a half pulling back out of the corner to actually peek you at Bathroom. So you've got that time to line up and get your Molotov near perfect.
I mean, all the way from the moment that Gratisfaction planted that bomb, they knew what was going to be doing and what the role it was expected from Burn and Badger there.
I suppose Badger was just sort of playing either half as a bait player, if Gratisfaction had made it out of sight alive.
But playing those tight angles, it extends Zeusy to have to search and hunt, and that wastes a lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, Yam, he's able to drop Dexter. Shots through from Zeusy, will pick up an assist onto Dick Stacey as Yam will clean him up, pushing down into Monster. 1 more, 2 more. Gratisfaction will pick him up, but that will do it for him. Inns will drop Grat, and Tainted instantly resetting that Greyhound economy.
Yeah, a great defense from Tainted Minds, and Yam getting the opening frag on water, that was just terrific. And that's what we see on Overpass a lot. We see an aggressive AWP playing these lines, trying to catch the T-side players off. And it's because that there's routes for them to be able to get off, like escape routes and support lines for teammates to help them get out of these tight situations if they miss their shot.
And that force buy up, we'll see Gratisfaction pull out an AK. Yam getting aggressive on long, boosting himself up. Expecting one of these players, the flash will come through. He'll peek around, he'll drop burn. Lovely work, looking for some more. Will actually, I believe he tagged Dexter, I'm not too sure. No, he tagged, I don't know where Dexter actually got tagged from. A little bit awkward. Most likely, yeah, that'll be it, through the wall. Explains at least a little bit, you know, trying to answer that question and you didn't read the story and the exam's still getting aggressive at you and it's like, what did this mean and what did that mean? And you're just like, the red was the color of red, and all of a sudden you're just all flustered writing an exam paper when even we're actually just watching Counter-Strike. Gets you very flustered, doesn't it? But Dexter, he'll drop Chuch. He's not flustered at all. Push will come through, drops Yam, lovely work. And already this eco, it's almost paying off. Dick Stacey's dropped ins. This should not be happening. Well spotted Dexter pushing onto the truck. Will be pushing through that smoke as well. Spots and drops one. Will drop Gratisfaction. He'll be looking for these other kills. He drops Dick Stacey. Badge now left. He's got the AWP. And he's only got to find at least one. Offnu though.
Massive 4K from Offnu in a 2v4 situation. And again, we saw their flashes assisting their teammates. It's just beautiful play. Tainted Minds do it so well. And again, another clean round. That's a 7-1 lead. Perfect for Tainted Minds moving forward.
I mean, you couldn't put much onto Greyhound there. They were still on that eco. They hadn't actually gotten enough of those weapons into their hands without being heavily tagged. It was more unlucky for them, and they are down once more to an eco buy. As Tainted, they've got a good chance to actually knock up an 8th round here. In saying that, yeah, he does have his AWP up. Dexter getting aggressive in connector. Yam is actually going to turn around and focus more towards Party. He'll drop Gratisfaction. Lovely work from him. Peeks down and drops Dexter as well. My goodness, could he ask for more? Well, I mean, he might re-peek. He could easily get more if he does so wish. Chuch, however, will pick up one. Spotting Burn, but Burn is actually able to get that double peek in with Dick Stacey. Gets a gun over to him. Dick Stacey does have the armor in behind it. Ins, though, if he gets aggressive, Burn, well, he's got very little, well, I say very little, nothing to work with here. No armor, 2 flashes, and the dig. Offnu picks up 1. Dick Stacey, though, gets a frag back. He's dropped down to 9 points of health, though. Ins gets aggressive through bathrooms. And Tainted, as we said, they pick up that 8th round. Greyhound, they now have to hunt for the rest of this T side.
So, I mean, looking at this result, I mean, we almost have to assume that Tainted Minds were presuming that Greyhounds will be picking Overpass in this series, because they have come totally prepared for it, and they're ready to give, this is a dashing lead from Tainted Minds. It's quite surprising, really, considering that it was Greyhound's pick.
Well, I suppose we're just going to have to see, as Dexter will be able to just put his Molotov over for short. He's going to spam through the wall and the door again. Sadly, he won't be able to find anything. Burn gets aggressive. Yam isn't going to be able to peek behind his own Molotov. Will be able to get away, though. And instantly, Greyhound, you feel like they're almost on the back foot once again. They've lost map control, even though Tainted are actually backing away. You feel like there's just a little bit of pressure. Offnu spamming a little bit through the wall. He's still not going to find anything. But Greyhound, they are looking towards A. The player up close on long is going to be Chuch. Yam does have his back covered. Is that a flash coming through from the B site? That was beautiful.
Yep.
That's what you call teamwork. You know that they've been looking at Overpass now. It kind of gives you the hint that they know what they want to do.
Well, it also helps to sell the numbers that you might have at another bomb site.
Yeah, it indeed does, as Chuch will drop Dick Stacey. Gratisfaction able to get a single trade back, but Ins will drop Badger. Looking through the smoke, Dexter will find Chuch as well. As to be expected, smoke will go down. Burns dropped off noon, down to that 2 versus 1. Zeusy, once more, he's a man that we know can clutch these. He will be looking. Dexter is still on the truck. Dexter's been spotted out. He still has the bomb. He needs to get that planted within the next 20 seconds. Indeed, we'll just be heading over to site. We'll be planting it. Burn will just be holding his back. And now Dexter, he's got no way out. There's no utility left on these Ts. He just has to expect Zeusy coming. Indeed, he does. He will fall, though. And now Burn. Zusi knows where he is. He only has the kit, but that will do it. Burn will pick up Greyhound's second round, and now Greyhound... Well, I don't want to say they're back into this yet. They've got a very small chance of picking up consecutive rounds, especially given their poor buys that they're going to be forcing up.
I mean, this is a lot different to the game we just saw on Cobble. We aren't seeing much of a run from Greyhounds at all. It's really about them being able to not get reset right now. If they get broken this round, it's going to be back low in the economy, struggling to get ahead. This is really important. Greyhound had to find a way in, and Yan playing aggressive long A, trying to get the entry for his CT teammates.
I don't know what it is, Yam. He can play anywhere. He'll hit Dick Stacy as well. And instantly, he's going to actually force these T's into a push. Burn will be able to catch him out, but doesn't get the damage off. Will actually get tagged up by his own teammate. And Yam, he gets away, almost scot-free. The man with the AWP, when you consider it's a one-bullet kill, never mind. He won't get away. But I was going to say, when you consider that it's a one-bullet kill, not killing him early just gives him a chance at another free one.
Oh, that was great awareness from Gratisfaction to understand that Chach might have been pushing it with Yam. Yam was the only player that was spotted. I'm just really surprised that he looked back to Fountain to catch him.
Yeah, but In's holding this very tight angle on Bathrooms, but no, he's expected. Shot through from Gratisfaction, and Badger will double peek it, will pick it up. Offnu gets one in return, but this is perfect work from the T's. Finally starting to look like they're working together on this map.
Yeah, they've managed to find a way in, and putting together 2 rounds in a row. Is this a comeback for an 8-7 half? I mean, that's early days, but it's good to see that Greyhounds aren't giving up. You know, this is a long game ahead. They probably have just as much to offer on CT side.
Yeah, you'd think that they have at least something to offer. You'd also like to think that maybe Tainted have got something. Everyone's got something up their sleeves on the opposite side. That's what you'd like to think, at least. Tainted, though, will be giving up this round to Greyhound. Zusi, there's no reason for him to go for this. Their economy, I mean, they've lost too many players in the rounds that they've won as well. And that's, I suppose, what is absolutely denting Tainted Minds in these buys. The same thing, you have to say, though, it applies for Greyhound as well. They're lucky to have this up on Dexter, only because they've actually won it back. The rifles that they have, they've been difficult to purchase. Either way, do see guns swapped, dropped, and popped for Greyhound. This will be them looking to try and extend this run of rounds. I suppose they'll be looking to get to 7, won't they? That's generally a point that you look at when you realise you've already lost the half. You go, you know what? We're going to get 7.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, 7 rounds is definitely going to help, right?
I was wondering how long it would take you just cotton onto that. I was like, you realise it's all they can get, right? Either way, Badger, he's going to be looking to absolutely build up his bank. Dexter picks up 1, 2. Zusi's dropped Dick Stacy, though. And now Church pushing through. Will fall as well. He's got his hands on the AK. Dexter needs to expect him. Indeed he does. Nice little 4K for him. Badger. I'd be shanking Badger right now. You stole my ace.
I'm not too sure they care about that. That's the least of their worries.
Well, what are they worried about then? What do you think they're actually... Greyhound, what do you think they'd be worried about at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a threat to go down the way they have, 8-1, but the confidence is growing. 8-4, they found a way back into the game. They're probably figuring out that, you know, the little small mistakes, how they can correct them, and, you know, see if they can manifest these rounds. Oh my god, Yam! He gets the first round, kill of every single round with that AWP. You got to take that AWP out.
As well as the fact that he is glass cannoning the AWP, I'd like to point out, which... You know, you always get slightly concerned, a single bullet that aims absolutely thrown off. You'd think that a man like Yam, he's obviously prepared to play it like that. Gratisfaction, on the other hand, he has his armor behind his AWP. But Zusi, this smoke has not landed. And Gratisfaction, I don't know if that was supposed to be a one-way for Zusi. Obviously wasn't expecting Gratisfaction's AWP up there. There's Offnu dropping Burn. Now means that Gratisfaction, he's got a couple of choices. He can either back away, he can either keep pushing. And indeed, he'll just back away, try and go and join his team up towards this A site. Playing around the truck, though. Dexter will hear these footsteps, will be able to drop Church. Don't know if he's expecting the players directly below him. Inns will drop Gratisfaction. No, they've double smoked Bank. I don't know if that was deliberate, but Inns on the flank, down that 3 versus 2. They haven't got their bomb planted. Okay, I lied. They got the bomb planted. Now they just have to hold on. And this has been where it actually becomes absolutely crucial for them. They have to consider that none of these players have kits on them, but still, Offnu can drop Dexter. He's going to assist Yam now. As Badge playing around the bank. He'll reload, he's got time. He's playing with it, but Offnu gets aggressive, pushes him, and Tainted will pick up their 9th round. And I was actually going to say, we were talking about what Greyhound was scared of. This economical reset, I feel, could be absolutely crucial, especially given the fact they haven't actually been winning these eco rounds on this map. They've been getting very lucky, you know, when they force bought on Cobble. They got very lucky. And you do have to wonder if that's going to be, I suppose, a crucial part of Overpass.
Yeah, they're really struggling to be able to evade Yam's AWP. He's getting the opening frag every single round with it. He's just rotating different positions every single round, and he's finding somebody every single time and getting away with it. If they avoid that, you know, they're going to be able to turn these rounds around in their favor because they are getting the advantage.
Zeusy, though, he's on fire. He's picked up 1, 2, 3. Double taps Dexter with the USP, and Yam.
Huge round from Zeusy with the sick 4K. And that's how you shut down Monster. Fire out. Impressive play.
I almost feel bad for Zeusy that time, because it was as if he was looking for the ace anyway. And that sort of stopped right after they won the round. It was as if he was just looking at Yam and just going, I can't believe you've done this.
Well, that gets the blood pumping, doesn't it?
You just want that ace now. He's just going to go hard. He's going to look for all 5 this round. And as we see, Greyhound have been reset all the way down. It could be a very simple 11-4 half. Maybe this is the luck of Greyhound turning around. Maybe they need to win this force buy. I mean, it is the final round, so everything was going to be a force no matter what. Interesting flash, I believe, from Offnu there. Just caught himself out. As there is a single player out long. It will be Burn. He will fall at the hands of Chuch. And it seems as though Tainted, they are just trying to work with each other on this map. It feels a lot more coherent from them. And even then, Inzi stuck with that AK. You have to look at this and think that, well, he'll drop Dexter as well. This could have been a double up setup from Tainted. Smokes will go out. Yam is just going to be expecting this. Oh!
Time for perfection.
Hits the shot through the smoke. And Gratisfaction, 1 versus 5. He's got a deagle. Just hiding around. Oh, watches the nade land at his feet. Chuch will push him. Ins, though, through the smoke will catch him off. Now, Greyhound, they are 11-4 down. That's 7 rounds the deficit to try and bring back on their CT side. Now, I've seen this Greyhound side do this before. I've seen them pull back from some amazing deficits on the T side. Against Tainted, though?
It's shutting down Yam. He's firing up on this map. He has talked a big game that they were going to take this away 2-0. So to be a map down, he's really showing leadership for Tainted Minds right now. He's been getting the opening frag in every single round win that they've had. So it'll be interesting to see how he brings that now that he's on the T side.
Yeah, interesting to see that all 10 players have opted for armor this time as well. Not a single flash, no utility, no kit, nothing for Tainted either, which, you know, quite often we see at least someone come out with a smoke or a flash. Quite often it's Offnu. I'll say rare. But Dexter, oh, lovely 1 tap to start us off. Taps Yam as well. He'll be looking, tapping for Inns, but Offnu gets aggressive on site. Inns will drop Gratisfaction. Badger will get 1 more back, brings it down to that 3 versus 2. Doesn't have the bomb. Zeusy, though, is still trying to push him onto the site. He's managed to drop Dick Stacy, leaving Badger at truck. Badger drops Zeusy and ends. Lovely shots with the Glock to get the bomb drop, but Burn, playing from bank, catches him from behind. And Greyhound pick up a round. First one on their CT side, a lot earlier than on the T side. And now, you do wonder, do they have this confidence? Are they happy? Are they thinking that they can get back into this
100%,
already? They think they can get into it?
They look happy. Look at them. They're smiling. Like, even though they're down and they're chasing, they're feeling good about their pistol round. And Dexter, after landing those 2 amazing headshots, he's like, I'm on point right now. Put these guys in front of me. I'm going to settle on this position. I'm just going to take them out. He was gunning it. Those was 2-bullet headshots. And he got a guy mid-air jumping. Ah, precision.
Well, you know how Dick Stacy's nickname is the Big Rig. The smile on his face is probably the biggest rig he's got right now. Like, he's got a massive smile. It's beautiful to look at. But at the same time, you do wonder,
well, he was the greatest pickup for this team. Not only is he a great player, but he's a character as well. He brings so much teamwork and chemistry to the squad. Like, he cheers everybody up. And that makes people happy, and that makes people play better. And that's what you need in a squad. It's not just about the skill in the role that you play in the game. It's about what you bring like, as a personality.
Oh, I was really hoping that Yam might have actually gone for a run boost there. You remember Mirage, where Greatest Faction did it to Yam? That would have been beautiful.
Cape on his back, Superman.
Pew! Either way, it's only Greatest Faction dropped. It is only a UMP. It's still a positive weapon to get into the hands of Tainted. Can tear through that armor with the penetration. But Greyhound, they don't have too much to worry about. They can still just hold on their sights. And so far, I suppose there's been no reason for them to get aggressive on their CT side. It is something that we saw quite a bit of from Tainted. But Dexter is going to get aggressive. Will drop off Nu. Brings it down to that 2 versus 3. Weapons now in both hands of the Tainted Minds players. They've got 20 seconds to work with. The B site has not really been approached. And as such, Burn could be absolutely crucial here. Stopping this player rotating out. Connector ins. We'll just open the door. Yeah, is going to get caught out though. Ins though. Oh, lovely work from Burn. Gets that spray transfer. Picks it up. And fist bumps. It's nice.
And that's another 4K for Burn. He has been turning up in the most important rounds. He is a big-time player. To see him go large this match would be enormous. It would be great to see.
Yeah, it's weird to see that Dick Stacey isn't going large. You feel like in crucial situations, he's one of those players that you quite often see just getting up there.
I'm just not too sure what to say about that.
Either way, Tainted Minds just going to be sitting on the 5 Glocks, looking for anything but Dexter up close and personal. Picks up 4.
He's harvesting body parts right now with that MP9.
You see the little fist bump, he's just like, yep, tap, tap, fist bump, tap. It's absolutely beautiful coming through, and instantly, this round deficit.
This is the business round. This is where the boys had to step up. They know it. Dexter, like, Gratisfaction, their faces just got serious. They're like, come on, this is it. And look at Dexter with 20 frags. That's what we want to see. He used to play in Winter Fox with Offnu and Zuzi, so there's huge rivalry between these guys. He wants to beat them because he was actually removed from the squad. He came back to Australia.
Indeed, he did. And looking around, and you'd have to look at this Greyhound buy and think that those 3 SMGs could be costly. If they're able to get at least 1 kill early, though, that could be a rifle switched around. Peeking in, though, Burn, lovely work, drops Zuzi. Takes a little bit of damage, but instantly it's that advantage back in the hands of Greyhound. These boys know how to play a CT side on overpass, and this could be the masterclass that they need to bring it back. Both Badger and Gratisfaction are actually going to be playing in Connector, and I do think that's probably a positive move from them, given that it does mean that both SMGs are going to be holding them from a single angle, but Burn, he'll drop off Nu. Dick Stacey will drop Chutch. On the flank, though, that'll be Dexter. Lovely work coming through from him. Badger will fall. Gratisfaction isn't there to get the trade back immediately, but Ins will fall. AKs for all. And Greyhound, this could be the start of something good for them. The money not looking too positive on Tainted. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of pistols come out. But instantly, you just feel like Greyhound. You look at the smiles yet again on Gratisfaction's face. Does he ever stop smiling?
I mean, they're still chasing. They're still 3 rounds behind. I mean, yeah, but Tainted Minds, they're on the back foot right now. They've got to offer something. They've got to do something that's going to tilt Greyhounds. But, yeah, is there anything that can tilt Greyhounds? They just...
He doesn't even have an AWP.
Terrific.
Usually you see that angle peeked by someone with an AWP. They get 1 kill and they back away. But Dexter is also going to peek in and absolutely just annihilate Offnu. Peeks out and drops Chutch as well. And already, there is just so much positivity radiating from this Greyhound side. You do wonder if Tainted... You often wonder, do they need to just stop, take a pause, wait a second, and maybe just, you know, calm it down? You know, that's one thing that I feel a lot of Australian teams don't do. They don't take advantage of the fact that they do have tactical pauses.
Yeah, good point. We haven't actually seen a tactical pause this match. They probably do need to recalibrate and figure out what they can do. I would actually like them to inject some pace with the guns. It's good to see Greyhounds playing some aggression this round on the CT half from all points around the map. But, you know, the previous round we saw aggression from one player while the rest of the team were playing quite isolated and wasting the time and forcing the T-side players into a set execute. And the defense is solid.
I suppose the question is, if you wanted to see them take a tactical pause at some point here, would you rather see them take it before this next rifle round, or after seeing how they go?
I mean, Ferg obviously has a plan. He's probably prepared everything for the squad. Probably has rolling tactics to go in these situations. He probably predicted a scenario just like this. It'll be interesting to see if they have a tactical pause, but we haven't heard anything about it, so I don't think they're at the point of regret. They've still got a 2-round lead, so they're happy with that.
You say that. We do see Yam pull on that AWP, and this could be... Maybe this is what Tainted Minds want to try and change this around, change how the fate could be going for them.
It's so important that they don't give Yam the first pick, because I think all their strategies are going to rely on him getting the entry.
At the same time, he's not fired off a single shot, so he is trying to keep it at least a little bit quiet that he has the AWP. Quite often you'll see maybe a few AWPers, they'll just fire off a shot or two. It gives it away very early to Greyhound at that point, and Yam, you'd think that with, I suppose, the knowledge that he actually has, maybe he just doesn't want to give it up just yet. Flashes over into long as Zusi, actually pushing more towards Picnic. Dexter is actually holding a very awkward close angle next to the bicycle, and not one that is, I suppose, checked as often as tree or, you know, rock or even actually close bathrooms.
It's actually a really great position right now because he's queuing up all that information from the sound.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful. No. Yam, if you can actually get this boost. I've seen this happen once before. Oh, my God. Lovely work from Tainted Minds as Yam will drop Gratisfaction. He'll be thinking, where did I just get shot from? But instantly paying off. Dexter is going to be looking for at least one refrag here, but Inns expecting this on the flank will drop him. Now Badger and Dick Stacey. Are they already on the save? Well, no, they're actually going to go for this. Zusi will drop Dick Stacey. Badger, he's got nothing to lose. He's going to get aggressive. The bomb plant will go down. He will be able to pick up. He will drop Zusi. He has to find an ace. Oh!
Wow!
Annihilates Yam as well. But my God, there is a player waiting for him on B. That will be Church. And Church will win it out. Tainted Minds will knock up a nice 12th round on their T side. But my goodness, Greyhound got absolutely dominated there.
Well, that was a huge round from Tainted Minds. I mean, I think that is Ferg right there and then. That's a play that he's called. He's pulled that out of his book. You know, he's like, Tainted Minds, we got to do this play. Come on. Boost. Bang. They caught them. It was beautiful counter strategy.
I've seen that once before. It's where you actually get boosted up onto one of the balloons, because they act as a solid object, and you can actually peek over slightly further into long. Not so much expecting that player to be up there, but when they're there, that's what you do. Gratisfaction, though, he's pulled out the AWP. He is now the man getting that first pick for the CTs, and he's looking for something. Yam, he's going to push close, but Dexter, he's already close to the smoke. May not be expecting anything here, but Yam will just play around. Gratisfaction, I don't know if they expect Yam just yet. Grat, still holding, will hit the shot. That's the bomb dropped as well. Yam is up close. Zusi's managed to drop Dexter. Still, Zusi has been heavy tagged in gaining that frag as Offnu peeks out, and Gratisfaction looking good. He's picked up the first 3 kills. The bomb is still down. Flash will come through. Yam actually goes full blind there. Surprised he didn't hear or react to that, but he is going to peek through. Gratisfaction will be looking once more. I don't see why Gratisfaction needs to play, I suppose, passive here. He may as well keep going aggressive. He's got those teammates to back him up. He's got Zusi tagged down. And already peeking around, he spots Yam. He gets the tag through the wall as well. My man, this is absolutely on fire. And in fact, the Molotov does put him on fire. Push is actually looking to come even closer here. Yam misses the shot. Gratisfaction. He'll be looking for the ace. Zusi will burn him to a crisp, though, leaving this final kill to have to come from somewhere else. The player already in connector, though. I do believe that is Badger. He'll be waiting. He'll be ready, but no. Zusi will drop him. Lovely work. Forces the rotates through from these CTs. And he will be able to get this bomb plant for almost free, I believe.
A battle of the AWPs right now, isn't it? Zusi has proven to be a clutch player throughout this series. We see him again in a clutch scenario.
You say through this series, just through the entire competition.
He has been massive. It doesn't matter the odds either. He just knows what to do. He's such a smart player.
Yeah, Dick Stacey. He's revealed his position. I think Zusi's just going to hold this angle waiting for him. But Burn is on the flank. Dick Stacey, though, is going to be able to pick him up, find him. Lovely work there. Burn can get straight in on that defuse. They won't be saving the AWP, but I don't think that's absolutely crucial for them. They'd rather keep those AKs with that one-tap potential Gratisfaction, with that success, they can afford AWPs anyway.
Well, this is good to see. Greyhounds getting back into the defensive role, and Dexter with 24 frags right now, he's really doing work for this squad. But I'm really interested to see Gratisfaction. I mean, he just got a sick 4K with the AWP and got a tag on Zeusy. It's the AWP. It is really coming down to the battle of the AWPs. Gratisfaction, if he gets that first frag, it's detrimental to their defense.
He hasn't actually brought up an AWP this round, obviously opting for the rifle. Don't know if he's actually expecting Tainted to have such a full buy at this point, but shots through the smoke burn will pick up Yam. Aggression comes through. Zeusy will be able to drop him. Gets caught ever so slightly off. Another Molotov goes down. Zeusy will be forced back a little bit. Badger and Dick Stacy combining, picking up another couple through the smoke, but Offnu will catch Badger around the edge of the pillar. Looking for something. Dick Stacy still in heaven. Another nade set to go over. That could be Inns, but no, the bomb has been dropped on site. Peeking over, and Dexter will get aggressive. Only 2 players remain alive, but my goodness, Greyhound, from being so far down, an 11-4 half, they've brought this back to now be a single round behind Tainted Minds.
Oh, this is a sick game. These guys are pumped. You know, we're getting the fist pumps and everything. I'm feeling for Greyhounds right now. I think they're really happy. Even though they're still a round down, they're really happy. They're feeling like they can win this. The game's in their control. They can feel it. They got Tainted Minds on the back foot, struggling to figure out how to get the momentum moving forward.
Yeah, talking about momentum, Burn's gone for an MP9. This, I suppose, obviously they now know the sort of read that, I suppose, of Tainted's economy, knowing that they've just dropped them twice in a row. This Dexter is just going to be able to smoke off his outer bathrooms. Just going to be holding close, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually see Tainted go for some sort of boost or push over these smokes, as we'll actually be looking into bathrooms. And I love it when these players just get a little bit cheeky. It just gives you that little hint that, you know, maybe they are up to something. Maybe they do have a bit more of a plan than you think. But Dexter, he picks up a double. Zeusy will get the dig onto him anyway, but Gratisfaction playing close, drops Zeusy. Dick Stacy can take out Yam. And Inns, well, doesn't matter that he's sitting in the smoke. Gratisfaction's happy to kill him.
I mean, this game is to the wire. Once again, 12-all, this is the breaking point. Who's going to run away with it and get the match win? If Greyhounds get this, 16-12, that's a series all over. They take away the championship, they get the check and the trophy. Boom! Tainted Minds, I mean, how do they walk away from this? They had a ton of excuses for the last time that they lost, the Met. This time, they're on land. There are no excuses.
I mean, even worse is that what excuse do you have losing to Badger? I'm not saying that like he's a bad player. He's played at this level before. He played on Darksided with Dick Stacy. It's just more so that, you know, he's a sub. He's not supposed to be playing with them on land, but Dexter will drop Inns. Yam will take him right on back, and it's down to that 3 versus 3.
He's the unpredictable variable in this match. With all the study and research they've done on this opposing team, they don't have anything on Badger.
Dick Stacy, though, he's got everything on Yam. We'll be able to drop him. Do dogs like yams?
Do dogs like yams?
Would a greyhound eat a yam?
I'm not even sure if I've eaten a yam. Have you eaten a yam? Do you make like a yam salad? Do you roast yams?
If someone could hit us up on Twitter, @Nutters, or @Let's Play Live, how to, you know, cook yams.
Backstab.
I'd be pretty interested. But Burn will drop Zeusy. And Offnu now left 1 versus 2. He's managed to push his way onto the site. He'll get caught out, though, by Badger pushing through the smoke. And Greyhound will now take the lead.
Oh, this is not looking good for Tainted Minds. They're on the back foot big time right now. Their economy is not great. They're just lost. They're lost for words, lost for plays. I mean, they're frustrated. I mean, the coach brought out a great play before with the boost, but nothing else is working. It is time for a tactical pause. They 100% need to have a tactical pause. They need to start branching out to other members of the team to figure out what it is that they could possibly do.
Well, you've got a wealth of experience in that Tainted Minds lineup, no matter what. Whether you look at any of these players as still being young, there's just an absolute wealth of experience and knowledge between them all. Whether Ferg wants to access that, take their opinions, you do have to wonder whether there is maybe a clashing of egos or personalities when it does come to that, and maybe that's why they actually have Ferg in there. It's easier for him to call a strat rather than maybe, I don't know, they have a small argument over
well,
exactly
they definitely
how it
have an IGL who makes calls and plays, and that's a great frag from Burn, just prepared for the player to push through smoke. They're not letting anything go past them.
A little bit
I'm not too
awkward
sure about that
though.
flash.
Yeah, Team Flash is usually...
Badger! Badger!
Mushroom,
oh, it's Dick Stacy.
mushroom.
Oh, it was Badger.
I couldn't help you get away without the mushroom there. Either way, these Ts, they don't have much to work with. And sadly, them not having much to work with could mean Greyhound's 14th round. Zeusy will be looking all right. Burn, though, he's going to be holding very close Monster here. He's actually been left with those players around Pillar. He'll be able to peek out and drop Church. Lovely work. We'll be able to put the flash up. Peeks into Zeusy nicely in behind that, but Inns full white will catch him out. The reload needed to come in earlier for Burn, but Badger picks up one. Expecting this player on site, though. Yam just going to get smoked off. The bomb is down. He pushes through the smoke. Dick Stacey will catch him. And Greyhound, they are absolutely on...
2 away from this tournament series.
Okay, do you want to just say it straight up that you did want to back Greyhound? Do you want to go there, or did I force you off of backing Greyhound for this?
I mean, common sense. They've got a substitute. Seriously, Tainted Minds are the favourite. I mean, Greyhounds are the underdog going into the series, even though they were the favourites leading into it with the #1 seed. But, you know, Gratisfaction, he's a cool New Zealand guy, and he plays in all the local tournaments across New Zealand, which is great to see from the pro players. It's not often something that sort of happens.
It isn't, but Dexter, that's not something you see happen too often either. Picking up an instant double frag. Yam will get the trade back, but it is a 2-for-1 deal. Sadly, he doesn't get any free fries with that. As Greyhound, well, they can back away now. They know that they've dropped the bomb in Playground. They know that they've got plenty of time to work with. But at the same time, it gives them at least a hint of where they can play. And Gratisfaction, oh, he's just being very cheeky, just peeking through. Seeing if he can spot anything. But these T-sided players are looking to push down towards B. Smokes, Molotovs, everything just heading straight on over. Flashes as well. Often actually gets blinded himself as Burn will be able to flash for his team. Then it's nice that Greyhound, even when they've got these pushes coming on, they're able to just counter-utilize. It's beautiful.
No, their defense is tight. They don't give in to anything. They're ready for it all.
They absolutely do not.
And Burn has been massive, and they're pressing him again. Huge entry.
He doesn't deserve these kills, but Badger, he's going to drop Ofnu as well. And Chutch now left. Caught out by Gratisfaction, and they are on match series competition, $10,000 and the cup point.
Oh, far out. Yeah, I'm feeling it with Grat right now. It's got the fist pump going. Signaling to all the boys. Dick Stacey turning with a big smile on his face. Yeah, these guys are happy. They got the economy. They got the game in the bag. It's just about closing it out. See what Tainted Minds can bring.
I'd just like to point out that Dexter has actually dropped his 30 bomb already.
Impressive display from the IGL. That's true leadership right there.
Now, I know that Badge is the fill-in. Now, you know, we had a bit of a chat before. We were like, oh, MVP. Exactly. Could you give Badge the MVP?
I'm not too sure. There's so many players that step up and have role-played throughout this series. He has been amazing. He has to be the MVP because he's playing for a team. You know, wow, Yam with a huge entry. These trick boosts, man, they're catching them out.
Well, for all we know,
the MVP.
This might not even actually be the end of the series.
No, it might not be.
This could literally be a complete turnover. Tainted Minds, they have a skull split open. Maybe they'll just turn it on its head and instantly come back into this one. You never know. Burns has already taken a little bit of damage as well. And I suppose Burn, he has actually been that crucial player over on the B site, so it does give you at least that little bit of one. If he's taking damage, it might not be looking too good for them. Burn will just be hunting, still playing Toxic Barrels, which quite often when Tainted are pushing, they are Molotoving it.
Well, Burn and Badger still have Molotovs, don't they? So they can definitely delay the T side, execute onto the B side again.
And indeed, that's exactly what they're going to do. Put one down towards Monster. Badge, you can almost guarantee that his will be heading out soon, but that'll be one for Burn. Oh no, just the one. Inns will be able to trade him straight on back. 3 versus 4, but Badger drops Inns down to that 3v3. Badger, he's playing close. Sight. Oh, I love this angle. Land angle. Won't be able to find the kill, though. Zeusy is going to push around the flash. No, Badger gets caught, but he doesn't get punished. Yeah, will get the bomb plant. And Greyhound, they may as well go for this. They've got nothing to lose. All 3 players down, pushing. Will be Yam. Will be able to find Badger. They know where one player is. Chutch, he's still on next to the sandbags. Will be able to drop Gratisfaction. And instantly, Dick Stacey, he'll drop Yam. He'll be looking for at least one of these players. He knows where they both are. He looks around. He expects Zeusy. He drops Zeusy. He's looking for Chutch. Taps the bomb. Chutch looking to peek out. Peeking out. Oh! Chutch will drop him. And Tainted Minds will knock up a 13th round. My goodness!
1v3, and he almost closed the match like that from Dick Stacey. Huge.
Oh my lord. Breathe in. Breathe out.
To the
Just gotta
wire
breathe.
once again. Tainted Minds, they're not out of this. They want to come back. They want to win it.
It's funny they say down to the wire, because there's a lot of wires in these rooms.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wires this could be down to.
It's going to snap soon. Fire out.
And the problem is, with Tainted losing so many players, Zeusie's down to a UMP this time. Whilst Yam's got the AWP up, it's still that slightly poorer buy than Greyhound. In saying that, Yam is going to peek aggressive towards Toxic Barrels. I don't know. Oh, don't know if he actually spotted the head out there.
Must have caught a glimpse, a shadow.
You don't often double scope when you don't catch anything, do you? But Burn, he caught glimpses of Yam and has taken him down to 34 points of health. Greyhound.
I love the way that Burn is playing this B side. He's been brilliant. His defense, he hasn't gone around without getting a frag. It's crucial to get that first kill and delay and slow the aggression from the T-side players. It isolates and splits up the T-side attack. He's been influential in this match.
It's always awkward, and you wonder how much pressure is now on these teams. That smoke, oh, if Chuch knows that there's a gap in this, but Burn is already abusing it. This could be absolutely beautiful work from him. But you have to wonder, Tainted Minds have already had 2 players tagged up. How awkward could this be for them? Burn. He's going to get aggressive towards the wall again. He's going to peek it. He's not going to spot anything. Chuch, the smoke will come back out. Dexter takes a little bit of damage up over towards Long, and he's actually going to fall at the hands of Offnu. Instantly, though, Burn, though, he'll get that refrag. He drops Chuch. The push coming out towards B. Gratisfaction has dropped Offnu. This is looking good, but Burn gets another. Ends will drop Burn, and now Gratisfaction 1 versus 2. He has to go for this. He has to find something. Looking for these players. Yam spots him out, gets a tag, but no, Ins will clean him up. 15 to 14 here. Tainted Minds just...
We just got a dab. He's pumped as well. He's 1 round away from taking it to the draw and into overtime. I thought that was over, eh? I thought dabbing was last year. 2018, mate. Oh, no. Hopefully that's not a jinx.
I really hope he was joking with that dab. Otherwise, he's... Oh, I think I might have to resign.
I'm pretty happy that we haven't dabbed. You know, throughout this whole series, we've been quite interesting with, you know, whatever.
Handshakes and some
whatnot,
interesting emotions, yeah.
I'm not going to dab.
I'd hope not.
I don't want to see you dab either.
What's in 2018? I don't even know what's in yet.
Jordans. Jordans are always in.
Absolutely true. But Zeusy, he's going to be the man playing in connector. He's looking to get a little bit aggressive, looking to push in with his teammates. It's not something we've actually seen Greyhound focus control on. Neither team's really focused control over connector. We found that they've focused very heavily on the sites, and less so, I suppose, left that to the end. Badger playing close. Head peeks out, but Yam, expecting him, will drop him. Knowing that it's coming down towards this B site. Burn. Did he just get dinked by an AK? The head flying back would suggest so, but Burn, he's able to drop Chuch. He's still looking around. Zeusy is looking to push up. They will be absolutely hunting for this, but Zeusy is going to drop Dick Stacey. Offnu will drop Burn. Ins will drop Dexter.
Whoa.
And we're going to overtime here on map number 2. Oh, my lord.
And here we were ready to give Greyhounds the trophy, and Tainted Minds bring it back. And they're drinking that water back because they know this could be a long series.
Thirsty.
We haven't
Thirsty
seen
work.
Dexter get a frag since they had that 15 match point. Ooh. Is this land nerds? You know, they're in the big grand final, chasing $5,000.
Well, this is overtime. This is an MR3 10K. That does mean that 3 rounds on either half. We've only seen an overtime once before. 3 rounds either half. You start with $10,000 at the start of those 3 rounds on both sides. And Greyhound will be looking to make the most of that. They've already done a lot of damage to Ins and Chuch. Yam and Offnu have both taken a little bit, and surprisingly not a single play goes untouched for Tainted. But Dexter, oh my goodness, he's already on this hard flank. They won't be expecting this. Inns won't be expecting this player close. And indeed, that'll be the bomb drops as well. He upgrades to an AK so early. I don't know if they're expecting a player in playground, though. He's going to get aggressive. Often able to drop burn. Dexter will peek around, will drop Zeusy. Lovely work from him. And now, we just had to tell him that we hadn't seen him get frag since 15,
And he had to turn it up. That's what we like to see. Dexter.
Yes, absolutely. As Yam is going to be looking to try and get his hands back on the bomb. Could be a little bit awkward for him, given that Dexter is in such a promising position. Church is tagged down as well. And now, looking to push up and get a hold of this. Yam, he's going to be spotted out. Offnu, I don't know if he's actually spotted him. Oh no, Offnu will drop Dexter down to the 3v2. Both players tagged. Offnu to 34, Church to 45.
25 seconds left on the clock. They've got a fast play. They've got a fast track onto A side.
Indeed they do, and they have to compete with Greatest Faction and that AWP. A single shot here could be costly. He misses, though. He was expecting the player to peek wider into him. They are going to be able to force this plant. Offnu will catch Greatest Faction through the flash, and instantly will be able to plant the bomb. Church will drop Badger, and this has turned so quickly from Greyhound's round, and Church cleans on up.
How? How? Right now, I'm like, how? 25 seconds on the clock, they had the sprint. Greatest Faction made that shot. I mean, that's land nerves right now. They're nervous. They know that they're one round away. They were 1 round away from winning the match. Ah, man, back and forth we go.
Jeez. You know, it's very stressful watching this.
Oh, it really is.
I do wonder when I'm going to have a heart attack. Hopefully never. I'd like to hope not.
Well, I'm not giving you mouth to mouth.
Yeah, I know that much. I probably wouldn't do the same for you, so, you know, we'll both just die in the studio. Either way, Greyhound will be taking early damage onto Greatest Faction this time. And Tainted Minds are looking towards B once more. They've kept the bomb in a slightly safer area this time, keeping it more, I suppose, closer to their spawn, where they have at least a slight advantage. It's still the 5 versus 5 though, and that is absolutely crucial for Greyhound Gaming. But they do have that player already aggressive out long. Zeusy going to be lining up a smoke. Dexter just going to hold on at the rock. And Zeusy, oh, he's looking, but yes, there will be a little bit of utility usage over into long. And Dexter, oh my goodness, he's already on the flank. He's already aggressive. He's spotted out Zeusy. He'll drop Zeusy. That now means that Tended, they either have to push aside or they have to go hard. Burn, he's going to drop down. He can't. No, he does pick up Yam, but Church will trade him back. Does now, yet again, bring Tainted Minds to that man disadvantage. And it will be a rush towards B. The players have to absolutely clutch on this. I almost said clench, and then I was like, well, maybe it's a little bit of both.
15 seconds on the clock. The execute's going to be coming any second now.
Tainted Minds, the timing has not been perfect in this game, and the time will be ticking down. Offnu, he can't get the bomb over onto the site. They do need to get their hands on it and get it planted. They don't have time to get that down, do they? No, they do not. Church, he just has to survive. But no, he will drop Dexter. Nice work from him. He will fall at the hands of Greatest Faction, though. Luckily, I do believe he has enough money to get a buy right back into this for the final round of this first half of overtime. Oh.
Now, that was an incredibly slow round from Tainted Minds. What these guys are trying to do is they're just trying to catch who's going to be making the mistake first. And we've seen a change of pace from Greatest Faction and Yam, and Greatest Faction walks into the trap.
Yes, it absolutely has been. Yam picks up that first kill, and it's actually, he's taking no damage from it either, which is, I suppose, a positive for Tainted.
And that pickup frag greatly influences the pace of the round. See Tainted Minds go straight for the progression and map control, and they're just winning the round without even having to take on the site.
Well, Dick Stacey, 1v5.
That was a clean round. I mean, we haven't seen anything quite like that. That was really disappointing from Greyhounds.
Yeah, indeed, it is. But I suppose for now, we will just have to wait for the second half. I do wonder, given that Greyhound had a very poor T side starting out, could this actually be Tainted Minds' just their chance to win it and absolutely knock it out the park?
Well, it's finally good to see them moving forward. they're no longer scared. You know, I think they've faced defeat and they've come through the ashes and they're thinking, this is it. This is our last chance. We've got to give it everything. We believe we can win. It's time to turn it up. Whereas Greyhounds, they had that opportunity to close it away, and now they're scared. They're scared of losing. They need to take away that fear.
Burn, no, almost gets unlucky there, but is able to get that early frag onto Yam, taking out the key fact in that AWP. He's been so crucial on these CT rounds for Tainted Minds that he does get those first AWP kills, gets the opening, and this time he's not there to do that. Now leaves Gratisfaction with a little bit more free room to play. Doesn't expect at least a double up setup on the CT side so early in the overtime. Has no reason to, and you'd be foolish to almost buy that, especially given that you only have 10k to last you those 3 rounds. Church, though, will drop Badger. Dexter's able to push up, picks one, and instantly flicks, drops Church as well. Inns, though, getting aggressive, will drop Dick Stacy. And now a 2 versus 3. The CTs, they have to rotate up onto this A site. Bomb plant will come through. Gratisfaction can back away, try and get himself into a slightly better post plant position. And given that he's holding it with an AWP, he just has to be prepared. He'll put a single flash over. But now both Inns and Zusi pushing from stairs, pushing past Rubbish, heading towards Truck, looking to get these frags. Possibly not expecting that either of these players to peek close, and he will be right. And Zusi peeking into him. Burn will pop up, will drop Inns. And Greyhound will pick up the first round on their T side. I do wonder if this means that maybe Tainted Minds won't buy up another AWP.
That was great post-plant play from Greyhounds there. They've shown it all match. Once they get that bomb down, they know how to clutch out the round, close those angles out, support their teammates. It's just great play. And if Greyhound take this out 3-0, that's the match series. So they can still they want to win this. Every round matters. They can't drop one.
No, they cannot. Gratisfaction getting aggressive with the AWP again. They do see that pulled out on Yam. And in fact, I do believe that's the reason why Zusi's down onto just a Famasi. Will have probably been dropped that by Yam, given the fact that, well, he is holding Zusi's AWP. So kind of, you know, you weigh up the things. It says Zusi's AWP, and you think he's probably holding Zusi's AWP, and he's dropped him. Swapped him. Either way, Dexter, he's getting aggressive, and he's going to catch Yam out. Oh! What? Oh, so he just one-taps him anyway at the end of that. Just taps him through the head. Whatever.
Shot through the wall.
Church does get the refrag, though. And that is absolutely crucial. Gratisfaction pushing up, expecting a player to push him. Truck, oh, will just miss out on catching Ofnu. And with Church being in behind them already, they have to be very wary. Badger will be able to drop him, leaves this A site ever so slightly more open. Molotov's into bank, trying to clear out the site. Oh, he can't spot Ofnu from there. Will spot him and drop him. Inns has dropped Badger on the behind. On the flank, I mean. My goodness. Dick Stacy, though, is ready for Zusi as well. Inns is going to fall, and Burn will drop him. Greyhound, they're back onto that map match series. This is it.
This is it. This is for the win. This is for the match. This is for the tournament series. This is for the $5,000. I mean, they made it hard on themselves, but they're back in position. They're on match point.
I think, you know, you and I, we need to calm down ourselves as well. But at the same time,
let's do it. This is the point. This is the moment. This is the pinnacle of Let's Play Live competition. This is New Zealand history right now in the making. It's awesome and exciting to be here.
Oh, mate, you can't not be excited to be here. Inns is on a scout. The CZ's all around, and well, maybe if Tainted get aggressive with them, they'll be lucky. If they hold passive angles, they might get lucky. But if Greyhound get even a single frag out here, this could be, I suppose, the beginning of the end for Tainted Minds. For this competition, I'm not saying like the entire team's going to disband or anything. That'd be taking it a little bit too far. But as such, Greyhound will be playing aggressive out towards long. They don't have that scout to contend with out here. And this is, I suppose, one reason you do wonder why Inns plays Heaven when there's so many more close angles on B, when he could actually play out long and at least cover off one entire side of the map.
Looks like Badger's going to be getting toilets control while the long A players are setting up. They've got the bomb pushed really far up long A. It looks like they're going to be taking A site. Burn looks a little bit nervous with his land reactions.
Indeed he does, and he's actually going to fall at the hands of Church. Smoke will go down. We'll be able to get his hands on that. Dexter's managed to drop Church, though, through the smoke. We'll be smoking off the A site. Badger's going to drop Yam. This could be it. Inns with the scout has to back away, has to look through. Ofnu getting burnt up. Inns is still hunting. Ofnu spammed close to the wall. Will be pushing up. Will be able to get in, get down on Badger. Gets his hands onto an AK, pushing through. Dick Stacey's going to fall. And now a 2 versus 2 weapon still favoring Greyhound. The AK is still in the hands of Offnu. Dexter holding close. Greatisfaction will drop Zeusy. Offnu will go down, and that will do it. Greatisfaction finishes it off. Greyhound Gaming are your Let's Play Live Alpha Invitational champions for Season 1, taking it out 2-0 over Tainted Minds.
Congratulations, Greyhounds. That was superb. That's amazing. I'm so happy for the guys. They must be absolutely wrapped. And they talked a big game going into it. So did Tainted Minds, but Greyhounds brought their A game. And look at him. Yeah, those shoulders are pumping. He is happy. And we are happy as well. What a successful tournament. I mean, that was superb.
Greatisfaction gets his satisfaction in Auckland. He comes through. He finishes it off for Greyhound. An absolutely perfect online season. They come in for their one match on LAN. They take it out a solid 2-0. A little bit shaky on their own map pick, but it doesn't matter. When you win it out, you take it 19-17.
Ah, that was huge. I mean, they had a massive lead. It looked like they gave it away. They threw it almost. And then they went into overtime and they clutched it out. It was a massive display. To take it 3-0 in the last late overtime series as T, huge. I'm really excited. And yeah, I'm just really excited about the future, and thanks to all our fans at home. Like, that was awesome. But yeah,
that was absolutely...
Oh, we got to do that.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
Boom!
That was an absolutely beautiful season. You can't deny it. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It
was great.
We've basically just been told we had to do that by production. Otherwise, we don't get to go home. We don't get fed. We don't get anything tonight. And, you know, we'd really like to. Either way, I do think that does it for me. I'm going to be really cheeky, actually. I'm going to just say, follow him on Twitter. His name's @KiwiWayfarer. Follow me on Twitter. My name is Nutters. And you know what? Maybe you should go and follow the two guys back on the desk.
Thank you very much for that, Nutters. And I mean, firstly, there's no bigger fan than Greatisfaction than Wayfarer. And Nutters, what an awesome last cast, mate. That was absolutely tremendous. But I think the real congratulations are in order to Greyhound Gaming. If you're just joining us, Greyhound Gaming, our Season 1 Let's Play Live Alpha Invitational champions, taking down Tainted Minds in spectacular fashion, 2-0. How do you feel about this one, Tom?
Oh, that was an epic second game. It was really back and forth there. Greyhound sort of started off bad and really came back in that second half, and then let it slip again. But then decided they wanted to really close the game out and put the foot on the throttle, put the foot on the throttle at the end there, and really put Tainted Minds in the ground.
So yes, Greyhound picked up Cobblestone 16-12, and then in double overtime, you've got to give it up. The tenacity for both of these teams, you know. Greyhound made that huge comeback there on overpass. Somehow, Tainted Minds managed to take it to overtime in just flawless fashion. And then in overtime, Greyhound edged their way through to victory. And by the way, that handshake, they didn't have to do that. I see them practicing it all day long, the two casters, so don't let them fool you guys.
It's their favorite trick.
Yeah. But I think, first and foremost, we need to have a quick chat about Dexter. Where would they have been without Dexter that match?
They probably would have lost that for sure. Dexter is insane. Like, as I said before, I feel like he was probably the most valuable player throughout the round robins. And again, in the finals here, he was definitely, in my eyes, the MVP. That player is a gun. He's an absolute machine. So he can be very proud with the way he played today.
I mean, that's an understatement, though. You know, a gun, 30. I think he finished up with, what, 38 frags. But let's go and catch up. We've got Katja standing by with the entire team there of Greyhound. Let's go have a look at the winnings that they've just received.
And Greyhound are the champions for the series. Woo!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You guys are happy. There you go, boys. Well deserved.
Awesome. So how are you guys feeling right now, especially since you guys been undefeated this whole tournament?
Actually really good. That's pretty insane.
It's pretty expected, to be honest, but, you know.
Also, that overpass game was so tight. How do you feel that Tainted Minds did?
They did pretty well because they don't usually play it as much as usual. So I think they were going off us having a sub and picking the maps that way. So it was a bit weird like that. But yeah, they did really well.
Awesome. Any last words or any shout-outs that you guys want to make?
Shout out to Mum. Shout out to my girlfriend Kim back home. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to Irk, I love you, baby. That's about
Yeah,
it.
shout out to Irk.
And
thanks for badge.
shout out to all the fans as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in season 2. And last of all, for all the Russian people, спасибо и пока для всех русских, которые смотрели нас сегодня.
Well, thank you very much for that, Katya. And Greyhound as well, looking pretty chuffed with the win there. You know, shout out to Urkas back at home. I think that's the other thing to mention as well. Greyhound have just done that 2-0 without Urkas.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So do you think it's, is it a roster change, or, do you think they're stronger with Urkas?
Well, I definitely think they're stronger with Urkas, but I just feel like all 5 of their players really played well. I mean, if you're missing a player, you can still do the job. You still have 4 players from your original team, so if you come out playing your A game, you still definitely have a shot. But yeah, it is very impressive to do it without Urkas, that's for sure.
I mean, and we've got to give credit where it's due. Obviously, Tainted Minds have played an absolutely amazing series, an amazing season, and I think we'll just touch on very briefly. Yam was absolutely a machine, I feel, throughout the entire series there. Those entry frags, every round, absolutely great. Anyone sort of stand out for you for the Tainted Mind side?
Ince seemed to have quite a few nice rounds as well. He seems very sharp with that rifle. He gets a lot of headshots. So yeah, I'd say Ince, and maybe a few of the lads. Church was a bit quieter than I seen him last week, but maybe he just didn't get the opportunities tonight that he did last week.
Yeah, so you've mentioned it before as well. CS is one of those sort of momentum games. It's not the end of the road for Tainted Minds. We will see them back. They'll still be continuing to fight on Fords. Obviously looking to get themselves revenge now, most definitely after losing there to Greyhound Gaming. But again, congratulations to Greyhound Gaming. Any sort of final mentions there for the boys?
Just the whole team, really. It's good to see Gratisfaction, a Kiwi lad, really take the first LPL tournament, the title. So it's good to see my Kiwi boy Gratisfaction in there for sure. But just the whole team in general, I'm proud of how they played and really think they deserve that win.
I didn't realize I was sitting here with Wayfarer, my Kiwi brother. But indeed, yes, Gratisfaction, doing it for the local boys there. Obviously, Zusi and Ofnu, the local boys from Tainted Minds, going to be a bit let down. But I'll take that as well from Wayfarer, in making New Zealand history. Greyhound Gaming, they are indeed your Season 1 LPL Alpha Invitational champions. Again, if you do want to follow us on Twitter, that's up to you. What is it?
GH2OC.
Easy TV, I think it still is.
No bias there.
Obviously, make sure you check out the Let's Play Live Twitter and all the social media as well. Give us some feedback. Let us know, because obviously we will be doing a lot more in the future. But from myself, from Blackout, from all of the production here at Let's Play Live, it's been a honor and a privilege bringing you Season 1, and I hope you all have wonderful gaming in the future. Good night.
This presentation was brought to you by Playtech, technology at play. And Logitech G, game with passion, win with science. And Samsung, redefine the game.